TV. Revolutionary salute. Revolutionary salute. Like, share, subscribe. Welcome to the House of Revolution. You know I'm your humble host, the Yamin of Revolution. We got him. They killed him. Justice for Nolan Wells. But before we get into that, y'all be sure to wipe y'all feet. That means hit the like button. You in the House of Revolution. Like, share, subscribe, support the platform, y'all. Well, they going to jail. They guilty. Let's get right into the content. Salute.
Is he dead? Not from a first responder. Not from law enforcement. Those words, captured in the background of what was supposed to be a routine maritime distress call, appear on a recording where the same caller told the dispatcher, without a single moment of hesitation, that everyone on board was completely fine. Same call, same recording, two contradictory realities, seconds apart. If you have followed this case, you already know the GPS data. You know the contradicting eyewitness accounts. You know what the autopsy returned. What you did not know, until now, is what was sitting inside an official records request the entire time, buried under static, in the background of a call that has been played on national television. While someone on that boat was assuring a dispatcher that everything was fine, someone went back and listened. What they found does not match the story this family has been given. Nolan Wells' family has been fighting for the truth since July the 4th, and they need people watching this right now. Subscribe and turn on notifications, because what follows may be the most significant piece of audio this investigation has ever produced.
Detail assistant, Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership.
All right, of course. How far is the water coming up, sir? Can you give me a description? Ankles? Hello?
Hey.
Yes. How far is the water coming up, sir?
It's coming up. We're just sinking. I don't know. Like we're going down now.
All right. Well, let's get you going. Membership number or phone number listed on the account, sir?
I don't know the phone number. It's either Jerry Atkinson. I think it's Jerry Atkinson. Try that.
All right.
I know we have a membership, like guaranteed. I don't have the tag on
Unless you
here.
have a membership number or anything, it's okay. I'll get you over to the captain. What's the best phone number to reach you at?
Reach me at 2.
All right. And is everybody on board in good health otherwise?
Yeah, everybody's
How
on
many?
board.
All right. Do you need the United States Coast Guard?
What?
Do you need the United States Coast Guard?
No, we do not need that.
All right. All right. Do you have your current GPS coordinates?
The authorities.
Let me go look.
If not, I can send you a text message.
North. All right, are you ready?
Yes, sir. I'm available.
North 30 degrees. By 4672.
All right. 4672. All right. And you were breaking up a little bit. Can you just repeat it one more time to make sure I have it correct?
Sorry, look.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, what?
So you're breaking up. If you need assistance, do you have a VHF radio?
Yeah, we do not have a VHF radio.
All right. Well, let's try to get you going because you don't have good cell phone reception. Can you verify your coordinates one more time?
Okay, my coordinates are 30 degrees by 14.684 north, and then west by 88 degrees by 46.79.
Right, looks like you're on Horn Island, correct? Are you
Yes,
on
we are
Horn
at Horn
Island?
Island. Yes.
All right, is the boat sinking or you have it aground?
We were sinking, yes.
Is it aground is the question?
No, we're not aground. We are in
Okay.
17 foot of water. We're in 31 foot of water.
All right, have to ask. What do you want to do? Do you want to be towed back?
I want to get this boat unsank and towed back, yes.
All right, where would you like it towed to, sir?
You can tow it to Ocean Springs Harbor or Fort Bayou Lawn.
All right, how many adults and children on board?
No, there's no children.
So, is there anybody on board? How many adults, sir? That was the question. Hello, can you hear me?
Gotta jump in and pull the plug, Bart, while you're going.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Yep, I just need you to answer these questions so I can get you over to the captain.
Okay.
How many
what's
adults
going
on board?
There are 0 adults on board.
There's nobody on board the boat?
No. Nobody
right.
here is over the age of 21.
Sir, that was not the question. Is there a person? Is there a person, a living individual on the boat?
Hello?
Is there a living person, someone breathing on the boat? Is there anybody on the boat?
Yes, there's lots of people breathing on the boat.
All right, how many people, sir?
Like 7.
All right, thank you. Does everyone have life jackets on or available to them?
Yes, we have life jackets available.
All right, verify what boat's sinking.
A Triton, 22-foot offshore, 22-foot Triton offshore sea flight hull.
All right. All right. Please hold. I'm transferring you to the local captain now.
Okay, thank you.
This is Captain Seth.
Hi, Captain Seth. This is Vicky from International. How you doing today?
Doing good. How are you?
Good, good. I apologize ahead of time. I really do. You're going to have a fee for service come up under Jerry.
Okay.
It sounds like a bunch of kids on board on Horn Island. He's letting me know that his father's a member, but he can't give me any information. And he's saying the boat is sinking. And he's on Horn Island. It's just unfortunate. He's just a kid. There's a lot going on. So
Right.
he said there's about a lot of people on board. He says he thinks about 7. I'm guessing they're all under 18.
Okay.
And I'm not trying to be rude. He wants you guys to go out there and unpump the boat and then tow it in.
Do you know what kind of boat it is?
He said a Triton 24-footer, but that's all he can give me.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I just actually got off the phone with his grandpa, who I'm guessing is the owner of the boat, and
Is it
he
Jerry?
said that Jerry. Yeah, he said
Okay.
I just hung up with him. He said that they don't need any help right now, but if something changes, he'll call me back. So
Oh, right.
I'm guessing that they may have figured it out, because that's what he said. So they're in a panic and their boat won't crank.
Yeah, they're in a panic. He's saying the bilge is not keeping up. I asked for Coast Guard. He said no, but he's just really upset on the back end. And, I get it. It's a kid. He just doesn't understand.
Oh, okay. Do you still have him on the line?
Yes, I still have him on the line. And, again, I couldn't find he couldn't give me anything regarding his grandfather's, membership. So it's just under Jerry fee for service.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I just talked to, if you want to, we're so tied up right now. We can't really do any non-member jobs right now.
Is Jerry a member? Did you find out if he was a member or not?
Yeah, but I'm not sure if it's his boat or what. I'm not sure what's going on with it. But yeah, transfer the kid over. I'll talk to him, and then I'll call his grandpa back as well.
All right. And did you want me to look up Jerry's membership number or anything like that to see if he's up? I know you guys are
You can try this cell phone number.
All right. Yep. Jerry. Yeah, he's an active member. Hold on.
What kind of boat do you have on there? Same
Yeah,
boat?
he's one. Yeah, he's one of your members. Yep, 22-foot Triton. All right. I'll just disregard this one. I'm gonna send you over an accurate one under this Jerry Ackerson one. Okay, he's one of your members. You'll get in a couple minutes. Okay.
Okay, perfect. All right. And yeah, just transfer this kid over whenever you get a chance.
All right, transferring now. Thank you again, Captain.
All righty.
Stay safe out there. It's crazy. Have a drink.
Oh, it's wild. All righty. Thank you.
Thank you.
22 days into this investigation, no official cause of death, no official manner of death, no date of death on record for Nolan Wells. That is not a gap in coverage. That is the preliminary conclusion of an independent autopsy announced Wednesday morning at the NOC National Convention in Chicago, conducted by forensic pathologist Dr. Roger Mitchell, funded by Colin Kaepernick. That alone should have been the headline. It wasn't, because while that report was being read aloud inside McCormick Place, a separate audio analysis was already circulating of a recording that appears to capture Nolan's name being called on a boat he was never supposed to be on. One of those two developments is going to end up in front of a grand jury. While Christine and Elmore Wansley were asking questions that nobody would answer, the answer was already on tape, not in law enforcement hands, not forwarded to the family, sitting in the archive of a private maritime towing company called Sea Tow International, where it stayed until NBC News pulled it through an official records request. The people on that boat knew it existed. The Wansleys did not. That gap between who knew and who was left asking is where this recording lives. Sea Tow is not 911. It carries no police monitoring, no automatic law enforcement notification, no mandate to flag irregularities. It is roadside assistance on water. The dispatcher who received the call was a woman named Vicky. She transferred it to a local captain named Seth. The caller spent the opening minutes of that call trying to confirm a membership account registered to his grandfather, Jerry Atkinson. At one point, Vicky asked directly, "Is everyone on board in good health?" The answer came back without hesitation. Yeah, everyone's fine. 7 people on the boat. Coast Guard declined. GPS coordinates placed the vessel near Horn Island. The call was composed enough to manage. The answers were fast enough to sound rehearsed. Authorities confirmed Nolan Wells was not on that boat, but the dispatcher was only listening to the foreground. Nobody, not NBC News, not law enforcement, not even the public, went back and isolated what was happening in the background of that same call until this week. What they found is why you are still watching. 3 sounds in the background, while the foreground caller was managing the dispatcher's questions. The first was a name, Nolan. Not a reference, not a passing mention, a call. The kind directed at someone who is not responding the way they should be. Urgent, specific, unmistakable. Nolan Wells, by the official account, was on Horn Island when that recording was made. Miles of open water between him and that boat. Alone on a barrier island off the Mississippi Gulf Coast. His name should not be on that recording. The second sound appears to be a question. Is he dead? Captured in the background of the same call, where the foreground voice told a dispatcher, without hesitation, that everyone on board was completely fine. Same call, same moment. 2 realities running simultaneously. The third is a direction, spoken by name, Wyatt. Check his chest. Wyatt Atkinson is the grandson of Jerry Atkinson, registered owner of the Triton vessel Nolan boarded that morning at the El Camino Real Road dock in Ocean Springs. He is on the boat. He is being directed to check someone's chest. 3 sounds, 1 recording, 1 caller telling the dispatcher everybody is fine. Both cannot be true. One of them is a lie, and the GPS was running the entire time, logging every movement, every position, every second of what happened next. It does not forget. It does not revise. What it recorded during the following 53 minutes has never been explained. A boat that is sinking does not crawl. That is not a theory. That is physics. A vessel taking on water moves with urgency, toward shore, toward help, toward anything that stops the clock. It does not drift northbound across open water at the pace of someone walking a dog. Between 4:31 and 5:24 p.m. on July the 4th, the Triton vessel that left Horn Island without Nolan Wells traveled 2.7 miles at speeds between 0.06 and 4.2 knots, walking pace, for 53 consecutive minutes. This is not eyewitness recall. This is Garmin GPS plotter data, downloaded directly from the vessel on July the 8th by MDMR officer Shay Smith, converted into a GPX file and rendered over Google Earth satellite imagery by the Mississippi Department of Marine Resources. The technology does not negotiate. The timestamps do not adjust for what anyone needed to be true that afternoon. The sea tow call was made inside that 53-minute window. The caller said the boat was going down fast. He said they were sinking. He used the word now, and yet the GPS shows a vessel that barely moved for nearly an hour, then abruptly accelerated to 35 knots and made straight for dock the moment it did. Panic moves fast. This boat did not. At 5:44 p.m., the vessel docked at El Camino Real Road. It stayed for 8 minutes. Then it left again. If this video reached you, please share it now and turn on notifications. Mind you, these are not speculations. These are verified updates on this case. Warren Hudson knew what the GPS showed before he sat down with Officer Tatum. The MDMR data had already been obtained. The timestamps were already public. The 4 movements after 4:31 p.m. were already documented. He walked into that interview knowing exactly what the record contained, and he chose what to address and what to leave untouched. He called Nolan his best friend, said their friendship went back to 8th grade, said he seemed completely fine every time he checked on him throughout the day. Then came part 3. Not part 1, where he introduced himself and established the friendship. Not part 2, where he described the boat emergency. Part 3, after 2 full rounds of public questioning, is where Hudson disclosed for the first time that at the exact moment Nolan disappeared from the group, someone ran up and told him his younger brother had gotten into a fight on the island. His attention split. That is why, he said, he cannot account for Nolan's final minutes before the boat left. A new explanation. 3rd interview, for the most critical window in the entire case. Here is what the GPS recorded while Hudson's attention was elsewhere. 5:52 p.m. The vessel left El Camino Real Road, heading east into Fort Bayou. 6:06, it returned. 6:36, it departed again, southwest toward St. Martin Bayou, then southeast toward Biloxi Bay Bridge, then north to the Fort Bayou boat launch. 7:19, it arrived. 7:47, it was trailered overland to Cardinal Lane in Biloxi, Wyatt Atkinson's home. Hudson's explanation for Fort Bayou. Wyatt needed to replace the plug. 1 stop, 1 reason. The GPS logged 4 movements. He explained 1. The boat that left Horn Island without Nolan Wells made 3 trips nobody has accounted for. And then it was pulled out of the water, loaded onto a trailer, and moved overland to a private residence before anyone reported Nolan missing. On the same day, the audio analysis identified a question about whether someone was dead. A pathologist in Chicago confirmed that how Nolan Wells entered that water has never been officially established. The pathologist found something at the back of Nolan's head, not a fracture, a focal area of red discoloration in the soft tissue at the back of his head. Dr. Roger Mitchell, forensic pathologist, commissioned by the Wells-Wansley family and funded by Colin Kaepernick, delivered his preliminary findings Wednesday morning inside McCormick Place in Chicago, NACT National Convention. Ben Crump at the podium reading from the report. The conclusion: cause of death, undetermined. Manner of death, undetermined. Date of death, unknown. Not inconclusive on 1 count. All 3.
We haven't heard from any of their local officials that Nolan was found face down, fully clothed. Well, that's significant to us because the last time we saw him on the videos, he was without a shirt. So at what point did he put on a shirt? Somebody saw something.
The most basic questions in any death investigation came back without a single answer. Decomposition of the body prevented a complete forensic review. But before that door closed, Mitchell documented the discoloration and noted something the state autopsy has never publicly addressed. When a death involves suspected drowning and the victim could swim, confirming how that person entered the water is not optional. It is the question. Nolan Wells could swim. The state medical examiner conducted their own autopsy on July the 7th, 15 days before Mitchell stood at that podium. Their findings remain unrelated.
Revolutionary salute to our brother, Saladad, American Indian, for the Uncle Alert and the 440 jewels. Revolution is a way of life. Absolutely appreciate the love, family, salute.
Released. Still pending toxicology. Still in a file that has not been released to the public. 2 autopsies. One marking at the back of a dead 18-year-old's head that no official has explained. And on July the 23rd, the day after Mitchell stood at that podium in Chicago, the district attorney confirmed the state autopsy report will not be released to anyone until a grand jury reviews it. DA Angel Myers McElrath said it plainly. Every non-natural death in this county goes to the grand jury. The family will not see that report. The public will not see that report. Not until the process she controls decides it is time.
We can't publicly discuss the evidence, the interviews, or what those efforts have uncovered while the investigation is underway. Again, our restraint in sharing details of the investigation is not a refusal to share the truth. It is our commitment to protect the process that allows the truth to be known with confidence.
Jackson County law enforcement has not issued a single statement addressing the background sounds on that recording. Not a denial, not a confirmation, not an acknowledgement that the audio exists and is being examined. The recording has been publicly circulating for days. The silence from the agency leading this investigation is its own kind of answer. The FBI is assisting with digital evidence review. More than 60 witnesses have been interviewed. Sheriff John Ledbetter has confirmed federal involvement. None of that addresses what is in the background of a CTO call that NBC News obtained through an official records request and broadcast on national television. Warren Hudson has given 3 public interviews. He has not been asked or has not answered what those voices belong to. The joint phone inspection both sides agreed to conduct weeks ago has not taken place. Nolan's phone, the device his mother says had messages deleted after his body was found, is still unexamined by any party with the legal authority to compel answers from it. The grand jury moves when the sheriff's office decides it moves. No timeline, no deadline, no external pressure with legal teeth, which is why Christine Wansley just went to court. She has filed to be named administrator of her son's estate, quietly, without a press conference, without Ben Crump at a podium. A mother who has been told to wait, just stopped waiting. Nolan Xavier Wells had been to Horn Island before. July the 4th was the one day every year that everyone went to the water. He knew the tradition. He was part of it. The year before, he had been on that same stretch of the Gulf Coast with some of the same people, on the same kind of boat, celebrating the same holiday. He did not come home. His mother is now in court, not to file charges, not to compel testimony, to prove, in front of a judge, on paper, with documentation, that she is the legal parent of the child she buried 6 days ago. The system requires Christine Wansley to establish standing over her own son's estate because no one handed her access to anything. That is what this investigation has returned to her. She filed quietly. No press conference, no attorney at a podium. Just a mother and a court form and a name that should never have had to appear in that context.
It is our hope that our local authorities will do what they need to do, because us having the preliminary autopsy results and hearing nothing from them, it's heartbreaking and it's concerning, which again is why we are here.
Nolan told her he loved her before he walked out the door on July the 4th. On a recording made that same afternoon, his name is being called on a boat he was never supposed to be on. Nobody has explained it, not once. This is True Crime Files. If this case matters to you, subscribe now and turn on notifications.
The next audio contains background noise before the dispatcher actually starts speaking.
Some people have analyzed the C-TOW emergency call from the Nolan Wells friend group, and this is insane, but this new audio might be information that changes this whole story entirely. The truth is coming out. Slowly but surely, the truth is coming out.
The next audio contains background noise before the dispatcher actually starts speaking. The third audio is from TikTok Detective, and she's managed to clear up some of the background muffled noise. Take a listen.
Okay, so Quan is saying, listen to the 911 call again. On the 111 mark, you can hear in the background someone saying, no, wake up. Wyatt, check his chest. So I ran this through my editing program. And listen, I am not a pro at audio by all means.
Yes,
but I did try to enhance the background so we can hear more of what was said. I'm going to feature just the parts where you can hear people talking in the background. I want to be very clear. This is my interpretation of the enhanced audio in the background. It is not a confirmed transcript, so please take this with a grain of salt.
All right, of course. How far is the water coming up, sir? Can you give me a description? Hello? Do you need the United States Coast Guard?
No, we do not need that.
All right. All right. Do you have your current GPS coordinates?
Let me go look. I'm trying.
Did you check his chest? Did you check his chest? It sounded pretty clear right there. Like, I don't know how she enhanced it, but man.
All right.
I know we have a membership like guaranteed.
All right. Unless you have a membership number. How many adults, sir? That was the question. All right. How many people, sir?
Like 7.
All right. Thank you. Does everyone have life jackets on or available to them?
Yes, we have life jackets available.
Did you notice that he said 7 people were on the boat and then they
only
counted
counted
and it
6.
was just 6?
Yeah.
Now, another thing I noticed in the full audio, when the dispatcher called the captain of the Coast Guard, the captain said, I just talked to his grandpa and he said he doesn't need a tow.
Sounds like a interesting alibi. Sounds like panic. Sounds like they called grandpa to figure out what to do next. This is damning if true. If it's true, you out here doing interviews, saying the opposite happened, trying to get in front of it. But it makes sense on why everybody went dark, why everybody shut their Instagram down, didn't show up at the funeral.
It's it sounds like a bunch of kids on board on Horn Island, and he's saying the boat is sinking.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I just actually got off the phone with his grandpa, who I'm guessing is the owner of the boat.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that, yeah, Jerry, yeah. He said,
okay.
I just hung up with him. He said that they don't need any help right now, but if something changes, he'll call me back. So
that sounds like what the grandfather offered as a solution. Don't bring them to the boat room, no matter what you do. Remember, this is all a call about a bilge pump. They said the boat was taking on water and they weren't able to get rid of it quick enough. So the grandfather said, nah, you don't need to go out there.
Oh, right.
I'm guessing that they may have figured it out, because that's what he said. So they're in a panic and their boat won't crank.
Yeah, they're in a panic.
My question is, why is the grandfather saying, no, they're fine. They don't need a tow? And it gets even more confusing because on the Officer Tatum show, Warren was one of the kids on the boat. He was saying that the last time he saw Nolan was 3:00. But then he talks about how when they were leaving at 4:30 and the boat was having issues, they said, Nolan, get the F on here.
Right.
And he's like, no, I'm going to stay back. So he would have saw him at 4:30 instead of.
You let them talk long enough. You let people talk long enough, they'll tell you the truth.
3:00, right? 4:30 and the boat was having issues. They said, Nolan, get the F on here. And he's like, no, I'm going to stay back. So he would have saw him at 4:30 instead of 3:00, right?
The last time I saw Nolan was 3:00, and Nolan was cradling a girl in his arms, Katie. But when we were leaving, Nolan was sitting by the boat with that Katie girl, and my buddy yelled at,
You hear how many pauses he has in his speech? I mean, this just might be a speech pattern, but it does sound like he is trying to come up with this in the moment.
Katie. But when we were leaving, Nolan was sitting by the boat with that Katie girl, and my buddy yelled for Nolan, get on the boat. We're leaving.
Yelled at Nolan.
The boat's having issues, and no, he didn't say that, but he was panicking. Nolan, get the F on the boat. Get on the boat. And Nolan said, no, I'm staying out here. I'm going to ride in with somebody else. And it's not uncommon to hear, but it's not like my buddy asked him one time. My buddy asked Nolan multiple times to get on the boat. Nolan, get on the boat. Get on the boat. We're leaving. If you're coming, you got to come now. And Nolan made a decision to stay out on the island.
So what is it? Is the last time you saw him at 3:00 with the girl, or 4:30 when you guys left Nolan and he supposedly said, I'm good, I'm staying here? What is it? This case is literally hurting my brain because nothing makes sense.
She seems to have gotten down to the bottom of this. Boy, give TikTok detectives enough time. Literally, her name is the real TikTok detective. That's crazy. I think they cracked this. If this audio is in fact authentic and it has been slowed down, analyzed, backgrounds raised, you can do that in audio editing software. And they're saying all that in the background, which if that's the situation, they would definitely be panicked. A bunch of young people on a boat with someone that is potentially dying. Why he's dying is still unclear. But I tend to think that autopsy is bringing back some information about the bruising on the back of his head. Could Nolan have been hit by something, some blunt object? Or could Nolan being injured actually be the reason the boat is taking on water? Why was the throat removed? There was a lung, or I think both of the lungs were removed for the independent autopsy. So you don't know if he drowned or not. That would be a good indication, because if he is dying on the boat, then all this stuff goes out the window. All these theories that they had, all these alibis that have been given by the Officer Tatums of the world. This is interesting. So we really got to understand there's something at play here. And the fact that the collective has really felt that there was more to this story than it was. I think slowly but surely, we're going to get all that information all into the open. Yeah, man. Anyway, we're going to stay tuned on this Nolan Wells case. Rest in peace, Nolan Wells. Once again, that
to make sense. Remember, they made that emergency call, but I believe the emergency call was because whatever had happened to Nolan on that boat. Let's get into it.
Yeah. Okay, I'm listening. Go on. Yeah. Spinning TNT, no fear, I'm still here.
All right, guys, we're going to get right into this. There is some things that stated on this call that when I previously heard it, I missed. Now I'm going to replay it again, and it makes more sense. I believe originally when I played this call, I was trying to figure out, well, why in the hell did they call? Like, what was really happening? I believe that Nolan was unalived on the boat. It could have been a mistake. I don't know if it was intentional, but it looks like he was possibly unalived on the boat. And it seems like they reached out to their adult parents, and instead of them getting Nolan some help, their parents probably figured that their children were going to get into trouble.
Revolutionary salute to our brother Saladin, the American Indian, for the 10 jewels. Revolution is a way of life. Appreciate the little soldier salute.
And they decided to dispose of the body. And originally, when I told you all, I said, I believe that they are remaining quiet because everybody participated and people don't want to tell because they feel like they're going to go to prison. But we're going to listen to this call, and I'm going to stop it at random intervals. But I believe now from this call that Nolan was unalived on that boat.
Tito Assistance, Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our village pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can you all please come? We have a membership.
Oh, right, of course. How far is the water coming up, sir? Can you give me a description? Angles? Hello?
Hey.
Yes. How far is the water coming up, sir?
It's coming up. We're just sinking. I don't know. Like
we're just sinking. I don't know.
We're going down now.
All right. Well, let's get you going. Membership number or phone number listed on the account, sir.
I don't know the phone number. It's either. I think it's. Try that.
All right.
I know we have a membership, like guaranteed.
All right. Unless you have a membership number or anything, it's okay. I'll get you over to the captain. What's the best phone number to reach you at?
Reach me at 2.
All right. And is everybody on board in good health otherwise?
Yeah, everybody.
How many? All right. Do you need the United States Coast Guard?
What?
Do you need the United States Coast Guard?
No, we do not need that.
You're sinking. Do you need the United States Coast Guard, which would probably got to them in minutes? He immediately says, no, don't send the United States Coast Guard. That's like the police.
All right. Do you have your current GPS coordinates?
Let me go look.
If not, I can send you a text message.
Hey, Lord, all right, are you ready?
Yes, I'm available.
North, ready for you? Bye. 46.7.
All right, 46. All right, you were breaking up a little bit. Can you just repeat it one more time to make sure I have it correct?
Sorry, look.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, what?
Something has happened on the boat. And if you guys listen to him, it's not about the bilge pump. There is, you can hear something going on in the background. And it's not like, oh, the boat is sinking or I'm scared. It's something else going on. But pay attention to what he says next.
So you're breaking up. If you need assistance, do you have a VHF radio?
No, we do not have a VHF radio.
All right, well, let's try to get you going because you don't have good cell phone reception. Can you verify your coordinates one more time?
Okay, my coordinates are 30 degrees by 14.684 north, and then west by 88 degrees by 46.79.
Right, it looks like you're on Horn Island, correct? Are you on Horn Island?
Yeah.
Are you on Horn Island? They're on Horn Island. Why didn't he just say we're on Horn Island?
All right, is the boat sinking or you have it aground?
We were sinking, yes.
Is it aground is the question?
No, we're not aground. We're in 17 foot of water. We're in 31 foot of water.
All right, have to ask. What do you want to do? Do you want to be towed back?
I want to get this boat unsank and towed back, yes.
All right, where would you like it towed to, sir?
You can tow it to Ocean Springs or Fort Bayou lawn.
All right, how many adults and children on board?
No, there's no children.
So, is there anybody on board? How many adults, sir?
Do you guys see that he hesitates when even asked how many people are on board? To me, I think he's probably thinking that, damn, do I need to subtract or what? I think he panicked when she asked how many people are on board. Listen to his response.
Question. Hello, can you hear me?
Jump in and pull the plug, Bart, while you're doing.
Now, people have stated that what he said is you're going to jump in a pool of blood. Now, we have listened to this over and over again. Some indicated that he said to unplug something, but I have learned that no, they wouldn't be unplugging it because that would in fact sink the boat. Now, I'm going to rewind it just a little bit because people seem to think that he says you're going to step in a pool of blood.
Jump in and pull the plug, Bart, while you're doing.
Jump in a pool of blood? Let me rewind it again. Let me know what your thoughts are. Definitely sounded like that, but I understand we can hear different things.
Hello, can you hear me?
Jump in and pull the plug, Bart, while you're doing.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Yep, I just need you to answer these questions so I can get you over to the captain. Okay. How many adults on board?
There's 0 adults on board.
There's 0 adults on board.
There's nobody on board the boat?
Does he not know an adult is anybody 18 or over?
No. Nobody here is over the age of 21.
Nobody here is over the age of 21. What the hell does that mean? And I mean, that was never the question. So it seems like he wants to play the child role. I'm not sure why he reverts to there's nobody here over the age of 21. An adult is 18 and over.
Sir, that was not the question. Is there a person? Is there a person, a living individual on the boat?
At this point, the dispatcher knows that there's no emergency here. As you guys can see, she is getting impatient with the call because she knows that this is not an emergency. But I believe just trying to be professional, she continues the call.
Shalom, family.
Hello?
Hello? Hello? The unsink boat? You want the boat unsank and towed? But
is there a living person, someone breathing on the boat? Is there anybody on the boat?
There's lots of people breathing on the boat.
There's lots of people breathing on the boat. But she asked you how many people. Why is that such a difficult question to answer? Was Nolan Wells unalived on this boat?
All right. How many people, sir?
Like 7.
Like 7. Which is very interesting because we posted a picture that had been posted by attorney Ben Crump. And in that picture that Ben Crump posted onto his social media page, it looked to be a total of 7 people. Now, I know a lot of you guys in the comments had stated that the boat was, I don't remember the proper term that you guys had used, but what you had said was that it didn't appear that they were moving or something like that don't get me to making shit up. I don't remember the correct term that you guys used, but judging from what he said, that there was 7 people on the boat in that particular picture, there was 7 people. So it's rather interesting that, he says that there were 7 people.
All right. Thank you. Does everyone have life jackets on or available to them?
Yes, we have life jackets available.
Does that sound like an unsank boat, a boat that needs to be unsank and towed? Pay attention to the call because you'll hear the captain will get on the call and say, the grandfather said, don't come. Why would the grandfather say that? What was really happening on this boat?
All right. Verify what boat's sinking.
A Triton, 22-foot offshore, 22-foot Triton offshore sea flight hull.
All right. All right. Please hold. I'm transferring you to the local captain now.
Okay, thank you. This is Captain Seth.
Hi, Captain Seth. This is Vicky from International. How you doing today?
Doing good. How are you?
Good, good. I apologize ahead of time. I really do. You're going to have a fee for service come up under. It sounds like a bunch of kids on board on Horn Island. He's letting me know that his father's a member, but he can't give me any information. And he's saying the boat is sinking. And he's on Horn Island. It's just unfortunate. He's just a kid. There's a lot going on. So He said there's about a lot of people on board. He says he thinks about 7. I'm guessing they're all under 18.
Why is it that this boy can't count? Why come you just can't give her the number? You think it's about 7? So at your age, you can't count to 7 and beyond?
And I'm not trying to be rude. He wants you guys to go out there and unpump the boat and then tow it in.
Do you know what kind of boat it is?
He said a Triton 24-footer, but that's all he can give me.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I just actually got off the phone with his grandpa, who I'm guessing is the owner of the boat. And
is it Jerry?
Yeah, yeah. He said, okay. I just hung up with him. He said that they don't need any help right now.
So let me make sure you guys understand. Something happened on that damn boat. When they call the adults, and generally, your young adult children, when they get into a situation and they don't know what to do, they're going to call you. I believe, as he just stated, the captain, the grandfather said, don't go. We don't know what happened to Nolan, but he could have been injured on that boat. To when he called his grandfather, the grandfather said, y'all going to prison. Don't have them come. Because as you guys hear, the captain said, I just spoke to him. He said, don't come. Think about this. Your child calls you and say they're in a situation in the middle of the ocean and you tell the help not to go and help them. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. What did the grandfather know that had happened on that boat till he told them, don't go? Something happened on that boat. Something serious happened on that boat.
But if something changes, they'll call me back. So I'm guessing that they may have figured it out. Because that's what he said. If they're in a panic and they're both hungry.
So they're in a panic. But all of a sudden, the grandfather says, oh, they're fine. Don't go out there.
They're in a panic. He's saying the bilge is not keeping up. I asked for Coast Guard. He said no, but he's just really...
He doesn't want the state Coast Guard to come, but he needs help.
Upset on the back end, and I get it, it's a kid. He just doesn't understand.
Okay. Do you still have him on the line?
Yes, I still have him on the line. And again, I couldn't find he couldn't give me anything regarding his grandfather's, membership, so it's just under.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I just talked to if you wanna we're so tied up right now, we can't really do any non-member jobs right now.
Is he a member? Did you find out if he was a member or not?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's his boat or what. I'm not sure what's going on with it. Transfer the kid over. I'll talk to him, and then I'll call Grandpa back.
So initially, the dispatcher is going to go back to the call because, as you hear, the captain says transfer him over. Now, just thinking outside of the box, at some point, the grandfather must have reached out and said, abandon it. No, don't get help. Because when she goes back to the line to transfer the call, they have already hung up.
All right. And did you want me to look up on membership number or anything like that to see if he's up? I know you guys are strong.
Father's cell phone number.
Yes, sir.
Anything on his phone number?
All right. Yep. He's an active member. Hold on.
What kind of boat do you have? Same boat?
Yeah, he's one of your members. Yep, 22-foot Triton. All right, I'll just disregard this one. I'm going to send you over.
Okay, so the call is getting ready to end, guys. She's going to, again, go back to the call and they'll be gone. They're not on the line. Therefore, she was never able to transfer the call.
You'll get in a couple minutes, okay?
Okay, perfect. All right. And yeah, just transfer this kid over whenever you get a chance.
All right, transfer him now. Thank you again, Captain. Stay safe out there. It's crazy. Have a drink.
All righty. Thank
you. Bye-bye. Hello? Hello? Are you there? I apologize. I will be disconnecting due to lack of response.
Now, what you guys just heard is she was never able to transfer the call because essentially when she went back to transfer the call, they were already gone. And we got to kind of use our critical thinking skills. The grandfather said they don't need help. Why would anybody allow their children, loved one, to be on a boat and then say, oh, they don't need help? Okay. Now, what CETO did is they sent this message.
Revolutionary salute to our brother Samuel Booker for the 10 jewels added to the war chest. Revolution is a way of life. Absolutely appreciate the love, soldiers. Salute.
Basically saying that, yes, they were en route to help these kids, but at some point, they decided that they didn't need help. Isn't that interesting? You were sinking, as you say. You needed to be unsank. Okay, you needed to be unsank. And then all of a sudden, you didn't need help anymore. Now, if you guys recall, he said it was about 7 people on the boat. Now, we saw this, and I think you guys said that the bus was, the boat was anchored. Now, could have been anchored at some point in this picture, but
Revolutionary salute once again to our brother Samuel Booker for the 10 jewels to the war chest. Revolution is a way of life. Absolutely appreciate that love. He helped me keep the lights on here at the House of Revolution. Salute.
He did say it was about 7 people, and judging from what everybody had stated, that this was about 7. So you all tell me what you think happened. You guys seem to think that Nolan Wells was unalived on that boat, that something happened to him on that boat. And I believe it now that I listened to that call. But of course, you guys let me know what you guys think. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel if you have not. Also, make sure you guys enable your bell notifications so you don't
Nobody wins when the family feels. But my
CETO Assistance, Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
All right. Yeah, I just actually got off the phone with his grandpa, who I'm guessing is the owner of the boat. And he said that, Jerry. Yeah, he said,
okay.
I just hung up with him. He said that they don't need any help right now, but if something changes, he'll call me back. So I'm guessing that they may have figured it out, because that's what he said. So they're in a panic and their boat won't crank.
Yeah, they're in a panic. He's saying the bilge is not keeping up.
Revolutionary salute to our brother Unconquered Minds on YouTube for the donation to the war chest. Revolution is a way of life. I appreciate that love, soldier. Salute.
I asked for Coast Guard. He said no, but he's just really upset on the back end. And, I get it. It's a kid. He just doesn't understand.
Well, fam, if we thought we knew what we knew, but just didn't have the proof to back it up, this changes the conversation. Recently, the dispatch call connected to Nolan Wells' case has surfaced. And before we go any further, I want y'all to listen to this with an open mind. Because after hearing this call, one question immediately comes to mind. What exactly has happened on that island? For nearly 48 hours, there were a search for Nolan, right? The public was led to believe nobody knew where he was or whether he was even alive. But During this dispatch call, you hear voices in the background that many people believe suggest something completely different. Instead of sounding focused on finding Nolan, the conversation appears to be centered around a boat that was sinking in the water. Now, I'm not going to tell y'all what to think. I'm going to let you guys hear for yourself. And after that, we're also going to revisit an interview that's been making its rounds online. And I want to correct something from my previous coverage. The first time I referenced the platform that we'll later check out, I had only seen one of his videos. And since then, I've looked into more. And I understand why so many people have criticized the content and while others question the motives behind the interview. That's on me, and I wanted to address it. But I also want y'all to pay attention to something else. Imagine losing someone you call your best friend, not to mention everybody calling Nolan Wells their best friend. Then imagine returning to that very place where he lost his life, describing everything that happened with little visible emotion, grief, or urgency. Everybody grieves differently, that's true, but it's something worth paying attention to as we get through this story. But I want you guys to remember, I don't give you no angle, I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We're gonna jump right to it.
Then to make another PSA. Listen, if you ever wish payday came sooner, this might actually help. It's a banking app called Current with a bunch of useful tools. And one of the main tools lets you sign up using my QR code. Once you're done with that, it'll prompt you.
The boys were here. Tons of people you'll see on the video is getting onto the boat, and they took 3 boats out. It wasn't just one. It wasn't just Nolan and 4 boys. It was a multitude of people on several different boats. And some of the boys that they're accusing wasn't even on the boat that Nolan was on. The video is showing how many people were actually out there, actually getting on the boats. So therefore, it debunks very clearly that it was only Nolan and 4 boys going out here to Horn Island.
Hey, Officer Tatum, since they giving you all this footage and doing all these interviews with you, dropping all these pots, since y'all showing us them leaving, getting on the boat, show us them coming back. Who came back? Who was with who? And what happened? And where's the boat that's on this dispatch call that we about to listen to? So check this out, fam. Nolan Wells' friends seemed panicked when the boat they was on started tanking on water, struggling to answer tow service dispatcher basic questions and nearly released audio. The call, it was placed to CTO, not 911, which is important. It begins with the dispatcher asking, what's the issue? The boat's operator says the boat is sinking and the blanch pump isn't working. The dispatcher asks for membership information, which the boat's operator doesn't seem to have or know before he gives the dispatcher GPS coordinates. When asked what he wants the towing service to do, the operator says he wants the boat unsank and towed back to shore. In one particular humorous moment, the dispatcher asks how many people are on board, including how many adults, and the caller says there are no children, and also no one over the age of 21. This confuses the dispatcher, who asks instead how many living, breathing people are on the boat. Once the dispatcher calls the towboat captain, she explains there are young people on the boat who are panicking. The captain says he's actually in touch with the boat's operator's grandfather, Jerry Ackerson, the man who recently let authorities search his boat and check the GPS coordinates to aid their investigation. Fam, let me break this down before I really let you guys listen to this audio. When you listen to this dispatch audio, I want you guys to pay close attention to a few things. First, listen to the teenager on the boat. Based on his speech and the way he's responding, some people may believe he's under the influence of more than just alcohol. That's an observation people can make for themselves. Second, notice how he seems to answer, or at least have an answer for almost every question asked. But when he asks one of the most important questions, how many people were on that boat, there's hesitation. He doesn't give her a clear number right away. And when he finally responds, he doesn't sound definitive. Then pay attention to what happens next. Listen to the dispatcher as she relays the information to the captain and discuss whether they need to be sent out. Here's the part that really caught my attention. According to the call, the boat operator, grandfather, tells the captain, who isn't even on the boat, that they don't need assistance right now and to call it off. Why? That's a question a lot of people has been asking. I want you guys to hear it for yourself. Check it out.
Connected.
CETO Assistance, Vicky speaking. How can I help you? CETO Assistance, Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're going. Can y'all please come? We have a membership.
All right, of course. How far is the water coming up, sir? Can you give me a description? Ankles? Hello?
Hey.
Yes, how far is the water coming up, sir?
It's coming up. We're just sinking. I don't know. Like we're going down now.
All right, well, let's get you going. Membership number or phone number listed on the account, sir?
I don't know the phone number. It's either Jerry Atkinson. I think it's Jerry Atkinson. Try that.
All right.
I know we have a membership, like guaranteed. I don't have the tag on
Unless you
here.
have a
It got ripped
membership
off.
number or anything, it's okay. I'll get you over to the captain. What's the best phone number to reach you at?
Reach me at 2.
All right. And is everybody on board in good health otherwise?
Yeah, everybody's
How
on
many?
board.
All right. Do you need the United States Coast Guard?
What?
Do you need the United States Coast Guard?
No, we do not need that.
All right. All right. Do you have your current GPS coordinates?
Let me go look.
If not, I can send you a text message.
North. All right, are you ready?
Yes, sir. I'm available.
North 30 degrees, but 4672.
All right, 4672. All right, and you were breaking up a little bit. Can you just repeat it one more time to make sure I have it correct?
Sorry, look.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, what?
So you're breaking up. If you need assistance, do you have a VHF radio?
No, we do not have a VHF radio.
All right, well, let's try to get you going because you don't have good cell phone reception. Can you verify your coordinates one more time?
Okay, my coordinates are 30 degrees by 14.684 north, and then west by 88 degrees by 46.79.
Right, looks like you're on Horn Island, correct? Are you
Yes,
on
we are
Horn
at Horn
Island?
Island. Yes.
All right, is the boat sinking or you have it aground?
We were sinking, yes.
Is it aground is the question?
No, we're not aground. We are in 17 foot of water. We're in 31 foot of water.
All right, have to ask.
Revolutionary salute. Revolutionary salute to our brother Infused Influences for the 67 jewels to the war chest. Revolution is real life. I absolutely appreciate that, little soldier. Salute.
What do you want to do? Do you want to be towed back?
I want to get this boat unsank and towed back, yes.
All right, where would you like it towed to, sir?
You can tow it to Ocean Springs Harbor or Fort Bayou Launch.
All right, how many adults and children on board?
No, there's no children.
So, is there anybody on board? How many adults, sir? That was the question. Hello, can you hear me?
Gotta jump in and pull the plug, Bart, while you're going.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Yep, I just need you to answer these questions so I can get you over to the captain.
Okay.
How many adults on board?
There's 0 adults on board.
There's nobody on board the boat?
No. Nobody
right.
here is over the age of 21.
Sir, that was not the question. Is there a person? Is there a person, a living individual on the boat?
Hello?
Is there a living person, someone breathing on the boat? Is there anybody on the boat?
Yes, there's lots of people breathing on the boat.
All right, how many people, sir?
Like 7.
All right, thank you. Does everyone have life jackets on or available to them?
Yes, we have life jackets available.
All right. Verify what boat's sinking.
A Triton, 22-foot offshore, 22-foot Triton offshore sea flight hull.
All right. All right. Please hold. I'm transferring you to the local captain now.
Okay, thank you.
This is Captain Seth.
Hi, Captain Seth. This is Vicky from International. How you doing today?
Doing good. How are you?
Good, good. I apologize ahead of time. I really do. You're going to have a fee for service come up under Jerry.
Okay.
It sounds like a bunch of kids on board on Horn Island. He's letting me know that his father's a member, but he can't give me any information. And he's saying the boat is sinking, and he's on Horn Island. It's just unfortunate. He's just a kid. There's a lot going on. So
Right.
he said there's about a lot of people on board. He says he thinks about 7. I'm guessing they're all under 18.
Okay.
And I'm not trying to be rude. He wants you guys to go out there and unpump the boat and then tow it in.
Do you know what kind of boat it is?
He said a Triton 24-footer, but that's all he can give me.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I just actually got off the phone with his grandpa, who I'm guessing is the owner of the boat, and
Is it
he
Jerry?
said that Jerry. Yeah, he said.
Okay.
I just hung up with him. He said that they don't need any help right now, but if something changes, he'll call me back. So. I'm guessing that they may have figured it out, because that's what he said. So they're in a panic and their boat won't crank.
Yeah, they're in a panic. He's saying the bilge is not keeping up. I asked for Coast Guard. He said no, but he's just really upset on the back end. And, I get it. It's a kid. He just doesn't understand.
Oh, okay. Do you still have him on the line?
Yes, I still have him on the line. And, again, I couldn't find he couldn't give me anything regarding his grandfather's, membership. So it's just under Jerry fee for service.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I just talked to, if you want to, we're so tied up right now. We can't really do any non-member jobs right now.
Is Jerry a member? Did you find out if he was a member or not?
Yeah, but I'm not sure if it's his boat or what. I'm not sure what's going on with it. But yeah, transfer the kid over. I'll talk to him, and then I'll call his grandpa back as well.
All right. And did you want me to look up Jerry's membership number or anything like that to see if he's up? I know you guys are
You can try this cell phone number.
Yes, sir.
Anything on the phone number.
All right. Yep. Jerry. Yeah, he's an active member. Hold on.
What kind of boat do you have on there? Same boat?
Yeah, he's one of your members. Yep, 22-foot Triton. All right. I'll just.
Now, fam, y'all smart. I'm going to let y'all take away what y'all want from that dispatch call. Now, at this point, we all need to be looking at Jerry Atkinson, who is his son, or at least his grandson. Now, I looked on Facebook. He deactivated his page. Let's say that out the gate. This was his profile picture, which kind of looked like the unshaped man that was in that video with Nolan Wells. But yet his grandson told dispatch nobody over the age of 21 was on that boat. Wink, wink. Now, before we head out of here, I want you guys to check out a clip from that Officer Tatum guy. He talks to a boy that claimed to be Nolan's best friend, but didn't go to the funeral.
To the funeral or the memorial service.
Right.
Why didn't you go? What was that?
Well, I mean, with everything going on social media right now, with people saying the crazy things that they're saying, I would never want to take the attention off of Nolan and his family. They don't deserve that. And, for own personal reasons, I mean, I've gotten thousands of death threats. My family's got thousands of death threats. And, for my own safety, I'm not going to put my own health and safety at risk. It breaks my heart that I can't go, and it hurt me more than anything. because obviously I want to say my last goodbyes to one of my best friends, but I mean, if I'm getting thousands of death threats of people saying they're going to kill me and do crazy things to my family and I couldn't bring myself to go because, I got to put my own safety first.
These people
and even if that means, missing my friend's funeral, I mean, it's horrible and I wish I could have been there, but that's what's been going on.
The more evidence that comes out, the more and more this looks like a cover-up. You got these people deactivating their accounts, not to mention the teenagers deactivated their account the first day before this even went viral. Now they're going on interviews on a black man's platform that deliberately go against black people. Going back to the murder scene, dispatch calls that's being leaked clearly shows they was discussing Nolan being dead before they even got off the boat. But yet everybody act like they was looking for him. Or maybe they hoped and prayed he wouldn't get discovered after being pushed in the water, allegedly. But with this evidence we just went over in this video, fam, if you don't believe something foul going on, I don't know what to tell you. But this was the latest on the Nolan Wells case, a dispatch audio that pretty much confirms what most was thinking. There's more developed. I keep you guys up.
Well, what do we have here? Another racist, perhaps? Yeah, fam. We got Bruce Lynn Jr., Jackson County coroner, Bruce Lynn Jr. Bruce is being accused of being the pup of a raging racist. Yeah. Bruce's father allegedly is a racist. You don't say. Mississippi? You don't say. Huh. Yeah, well, anyway, fam. Yeah, and you know what they say, fam. The apple don't fall far from the tree. That's what they always say when it's black people, right? They love to look at your parents when you're black. Something happens, the first thing they do, look at your parents. Look at your parents. You see what happened? You see what's happening with Carmelo Anthony, right? So what happened with Nolan Wells, right? That's the first thing they do. It don't matter how tragic the situation is, whether you are the alleged aggressor or a victim, doesn't matter if you're the victim or the perpetrator. But especially like when you are the victim, they start victimizing your parents. Parents, totally innocent. They come for your parents. Yeah, fam. So the apple don't fall far from the tree. Say it ain't true, man. Say it ain't true. Say it ain't true that the coroner in Jackson County, Mississippi, that was the first one to have stewardship over the body of Nolan Wells. He's the first one to be able to examine his body, touch his body, perhaps move things around. Is a racist? I don't believe it. I'm not going to believe it. I'm not going to believe it. Say what you want to say. Say what you want to say. I don't believe it. I don't believe it when a black person typically gets accused of committing a crime or doing something right, doing something wrong. First thing they do is look at the parents and say, we knew it. We knew it. Look at his daddy. The apple don't fall far from the tree. Beyond that, Bruce has been accused of playing the race card in some of his findings. Yeah, fam. Yeah. Bruce, along with this woman. Y'all know who that is? That is Stacey Turner. That is Mississippi's chief medical examiner. She's in the middle. And she's surrounded by black men. Black men who are boys, young boys, actually. All of them were, let me see, except for Damien, I think, was about 20 when he was murdered. But all of these young men were unalived by white people. Well, allegedly, right? Allegedly. At the top left, you got Nolan. Top right, that's Trey Reed. Bottom left is Channing Wilson. And bottom right is Damian Cameron. All cases that Stacy handled. Some people might say very badly. Stacy have yet to find a Black person who died of a suspicious death, that whereas a white person was suspected of being the person that was culpable and determining that the death was indeed a homicide and not an accident or undetermined. Did I mention that she sent Nolan's body off to D.C. without his organs, without some of his vital organs, his throat and his lungs? Did I mention that? Yeah, I forgot to mention that. Anyway, fam, here's the deal. It's Mississippi. Knowing Mississippi's history, knowing how uncivilized many people in Mississippi are, I would only presume that whoever they are, whatever industry they're working in, I would just assume that they're racist. Yeah, whether it be at the hospital, whether it be on a civic level, in the courts, law enforcement, education, Dairy Queen. Oh, Dairy Queen. Cracker Barrel? Yeah, I'm just going to assume that they're racist. Now, if they turn out to not be racist, then that's fine. I mean, I would assume that they aren't racist. I mean, they are racist, but I would not, go out of my way to try to make their life uncomfortable in any way, right? I wouldn't, try to make their life difficult. But if I find out, then hey, I find out. You dig what I'm saying? But it's Mississippi. What do you expect? It's Mississippi. It's America. What do you expect? How about that? It's America. What do you expect? Now, for those of you who might be interested in justice, I think it's a good idea to go over to the Jackson County, Mississippi website and check out the local coroner. This is where it started at, right here with Bruce Lynn Jr. Yeah, he got the body first. And, Bruce, he couldn't come up with anything. He said that the body didn't appear to have any foul play. And he sent it off to the medical examiner. He sent it off to Stacy just to be sure. But just eyeballing, he couldn't really tell what was going on. His preliminary examination didn't determine that the body had been battered in any type of way that would constitute a homicide. Y'all think he was being forthcoming with the truth? What do you think? Give me a thumbs up if you trust Bruce Lynn Jr. Thumbs up. Thumbs down and say, hell no, man, I don't trust him. I don't trust him as far as I can throw him. Yeah. So this is Bruce. This is Bruce. Let's go into Bruce's contact. How about that? Now, just in case you want to contact the coroner, the good coroner, you can reach out by mail. You could pay a visit. They got a physical address listed there. Or you can just call. You can call, light up the phones, and demand justice. What are y'all going to do about this? 228-769-3197. They even got an old fax machine. Who the hell has fax these days? But they got a fax machine. And they're open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. let's get back to our good old coroner, Bruce Lynn Jr. I wonder if this is really, if Bruce is really his father's son, because his father is being accused of being a racist. I wonder if Bruce shares his father's ideas. Now, here's the thing, and here's another thing, reason why I say that I don't trust white folks in Mississippi. I just believe that a lot of people move to Mississippi because it's the old way. You know, and parts of Texas, I'm in Texas, full transparency. I think some people move to these little small towns because they're stuck in the past and they can get away with harming Black bodies because there's little to no oversight. It's going to be a different thing in Houston you can do it, but you ain't finna just get away. Not in Houston. It's something different going on out here. So you're going to have a fight on your hand if you try that in Houston. But these small towns all over the country, these type of things happen because there's little to no oversight. There's little to no checks and balances. Think about what I'm saying, fam. Oftentimes you got the superintendent is the sheriff, you know? Well, I won't say oftentimes, but sometimes you get the superintendent, the school superintendent might be your local sheriff. And then the deputies, the two deputies might be the sheriff's sons. The judge might be his best friend, grew up with him, elementary. They got the county clerk's office on lock. They got the survey office on lock. They got the permits office on lock. If you get into it with anybody, they can stall you out. And then let's say your case gets outside of that one agency. Let's say it gets outside of the jurisdiction that you're in. Somebody else start peeping and looking around. That next agency gonna look out for them too. You know why? Because they do the same thing they do. It's systemic, fam. It's bad. This is why I hate to say it. I do not believe Nolan Wells' family is going to get justice. They know Nolan was killed. You don't even have to look at all this extra evidence to know. Even just the phone records alone, just the phone and the keys alone would tell you that his friends was moving funny. Just that alone. In the case of T.J. Davis, it's eerily similar to Nolan Wells' case. T.J. had 4 white friends come pick him up. 4 white friends went to pick him up from his house. They're supposed to go hang out. Somehow, some way, they end up around this large body of water. Something happens, things go awry, and TJ ends up floating in the Mississippi River. His friends ends up in the back of a police car, not arrested, but allowed to rest until the police takes off and drops them at one of the friends' dad's house. He don't take them in for questioning. They don't take them in for questioning. They take them to one of the dad's house, who lives right around the corner from TJ's mother. They have never been arrested. None of them. They just took their word for it. Oh, he drowned? Okay, case closed. Family. To add insult to injury, these uncivilized mutts was in the squad car, laughing and joking. Their friend is floating in the river. They're laughing and joking. You see what I'm saying? It's systemic. Law enforcement and all of these other agencies, they're interconnected. all over the United States, not just in Mississippi, but especially in Mississippi. They're interconnected. They're interconnected in Minneapolis. And not in Minneapolis, yeah, but in St. Paul, Minnesota. They're interconnected. They're all in the same game. And the reason why nothing changes is because they look out for each other. You dig what I'm saying? But what say you, fam? Drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. No more talk.
Hi, you've reached the office of Judge Ashley Cole. Please leave your name, number, the case number, and a brief message at the sound of the beep, and we'll call you back as soon as we get a chance. Thank you. You cannot record a message for Margot Mills. This mailbox is full.
Now, let's listen to that call and recording one more time.
Hi, you've reached the office of Judge Ashley Cole. Please leave your name, number, the case number, and a brief message at the sound of the beep, and we'll call you back as soon as we get a chance. Thank you. You cannot record a message for Margot Mills. This mailbox is...
And there's a scripture that says, woe to those who plot evil schemes and plan evil on their bed. For in the morning, they wake up and execute their schemes because it is in their power to do so. Peace and blessings. All praises due to the Most High. And you heard that call, and I was amazed. I was dumbfounded when a supporter of the channel called me and told me that this tip line that you see on the screen right there for the Jackson County Sheriff's Department goes directly to Judge Ashley Cole. That's right, Judge Ashley Cole. You remember her. She is the judge who is reportedly the mother of Warren Hudson. You know, the Warren Hudson who's been doing interviews with Officer Uncle Ruckus Tatum and keeps alleging that Nolan was so drunk. Yes, that Warren Hudson, the same Warren Hudson that said the girl Katie would vouch for the fact that Nolan stayed on the island, and she heard him say that. But Katie says that she was under the impression that she was going with the people he rode with. Yes, that Warren. The Warren who is heard on a 911 call, basically drunk and slurring and not in a panic as their boat was sinking. Yes, that Warren. Yes. So she is the mother of that Warren, but also she is Ashley Cole, the district judge down there in Jackson County. You know, the same Ashley Cole that deleted her Facebook page as soon as it happened. The same Ashley Cole who has started making Facebook posts like nothing is wrong. Yes, that Ashley Cole. So can somebody explain to me how a tip line that first it says Jackson County Sheriff's Department. You see, now the sheriff and the judge's office are two separate facilities, right? So how is the tip line to find out what happened to our dear brother Nolan going directly to this judge's office? Can somebody say a stack deck? Yeah, you heard it right here. We'll play it again. That tip line, that same number that I dialed went directly to Judge Ashley Cole. And Ashley Cole is reported to be, once again, the stepmother of Warren Hudson and the mother, if I'm not mistaken, of Wyatt Pyron, who, was also on the boat. Now, it has came out as well that the DA has elected to seal all the evidence. Why? What is coming to Ashley Cole's personal line that they don't want anybody to find? This is a major conflict of interest. Wouldn't anybody in here believe? How would you expect if anything comes that would basically implicate her son or her son's friend would be taken into accountability, or would it be covered up? Would it be swept aside, or would it be sealed from the public? This is how these things are done. They perform these wicked schemes, as the scripture said, because it is in their power of their hands to do so. The judge, the DA, and we all heard about that DA, Stacey McGrath, or whatever her name is. She has a horrible track record of presenting evidence for criminal activity when it comes to the suspicious death of Black people. And this is the same judge, Ashley Cole, who is continuously making posts about her family being in danger. Once again, painting her as the white victim, the white woman in distress. Just take a look at some of her recent Facebook posts. Here she is, Ashley Cole. And the first post on July 21st, you see, right is right and wrong is wrong. What do you mean about that? That's very cryptic, if you ask me. Now let's go down to an earlier post, July the 9th, a couple of days after she reactivated her social media. We have decided that we will not be speaking to the press at this time. The media is not the appropriate forum to further elaborate on the facts of July 4th, 2026. We realize that the truth will not stop the cause for the death of our small children. We have not had the opportunity to speak to the Wells Wansley family or their attorney. However, we are willing to directly communicate with attorney Ben Crump and the Wells Wansley family. We will provide them with all the information or disinformation known to us so their family can rest and properly mourn. We also want to know what happened to Nolan. We will do everything within our power to assist Nolan's family in their quest for answers. And once again, that is the most generic statement ever. Does anybody who is listening to this podcast believe that the tip line for the death of a young man who was in the company, who was in basically the custody, for lack of a better word, your son and his friends, should be going to you? This is diabolical, to say the least. Just take one more listen to this call to make sure I didn't hear wrong.
Hi, you've reached the office of Judge Ashley Cole. Please leave your name, number, the case number, and a brief message at the sound of the beep, and we'll call you back as soon as we get a chance. Thank you.
And in the contrast of my brother Willie D, my mind was not playing tricks on me. Neither was my ears. That was the voice of Judge Ashley Cole responding once again to the tip line for the murder of Nolan Wells, who was in the custody of her son. I mean, this right here, if this don't tell you that there's something fishy going on with this case, then I got some beachfront property in Antarctica to sell you, and it's going for cheap. I mean, once again, it says the sheriff office. The sheriff office and the judge's chambers are two different facilities. So please share this video Because, and I don't know how many of you have tried to call the tip line, but you see that message was full. But it is in no way possible that I feel that any tip that will come through that line will possibly hurt her son or his friends will not be taken into the consideration. And a lot of people are saying, yeah, well, that area, people are scared, they're very powerful people. As you see, she can redirect the tip line straight to her personal judge's chambers. And, we'll see where that go. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this video in the comments. Y'all see the number. Thank everyone for supporting this channel. If you have not subscribed, please do so. Thank you for the comments, the emails, the calls that gave information like this. Once again, I don't know who has called that tip line to bring this point out, but if this don't prove that there's something diabolical going on, once again, I got some land in Antarctica to sell you. Y'all let me know what y'all think. 919-587-7782. Thank y'all for liking, watching, sharing, and subscribing to the channel. And as always, I pray you have peace and blessings. And as the scripture says, all things that are hidden shall be revealed, and those things done in secret shall be exposed on the mountaintop. Let's go, Rich.
Well, what do we have here? Check it out.
Nolan Wells should be alive today, but instead he was just laid to rest in Mississippi. We stand with his parents, we stand with his family, and we stand with his community in calling for a complete and thorough criminal investigation. There are a lot of questions that need to be answered. He was a star athlete, and yet the claim is that he drowned. He gave his phone, his keys, and his wallet allegedly to the friends who left him behind. Why would he do that? He also is alleged to have stayed behind to talk to a woman who apparently claims that was not the case. His parents deserve the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, and we're going to make sure they receive it.
So as you saw there, that is Hakeem Jeffries, who is the minority leader in the House of Representatives. And lo and behold, he and somebody from, the Congressional Black Caucus has finally said it with their chest. They finally acknowledge some horrible things that are going on in Black America. Of course, y'all heard him outline what happened with Nolan Xavier Wells, and not too long ago, Ben Crump, right, and his team just released their autopsy report, which basically says it's inconclusive, right, because his throat area is missing. So what, right? Did they choke him? Strangle him? What's going on, right? Because again, that was a second autopsy that came after the state of Mississippi. Their medical examiner did theirs, right? So what's really going on? Anyway, let's get back to Hakeem Jeffries. I was rather surprised to see that, okay? That's what we need to see. We need to see our Black leadership or misleadership speak up about the things that's going on with Black America. Up until that point, we've seen them run around talking about illegal immigration this, illegal immigration that, right? Abolish ICE and all this other stuff. And it's like, how dare y'all? Y'all call yourselves Congressional Black Caucus members and all these other things, but yet y'all rarely speak about the things that's going on. And we know what's going on, right? In Mississippi, there's a lot of Black folks that, mysteriously, unalive themselves, right? And for what I understand, a lot of them got the same medical examiner. So what's really going on here, right? Conversation for a different day. But yeah, it's good to see that these Democrats are starting to speak up. But you know why they're starting to speak up? They're starting to speak up because they're starting to hear us on the ground, right? They're starting to realize that their party, right, the Democrats, are starting to lose Black voters because Black voters are starting to say, hey, you know what? F.BA, what's in it for Black America? What's in it for us to continue to vote for a party who don't even acknowledge us, won't even, champion any of the things that's going on? Mississippi, they, getting their Klan activities back up and running clearly, allegedly, right? And they won't even speak on that. You talk about, are the voting rights is in danger? No, our voting rights are not in danger. We can still vote. Their jobs are in danger, right? When they redistrict and stuff, now you got to work for our votes. That's the issue. But yeah, they're starting to listen. So Black America, y'all keep speaking up. Y'all keep beating the drums and you let them know, yeah, the couch is rolling, right? And Jolanda and all them say, yeah, the couch is in play. The couch is a choice, right? Because if we don't rock with the Republicans and we don't rock with the Democrats, yeah, we can rock with the couch until y'all rearrange y'all understanding about us. But yeah, and don't stop at Nolan Wells. Talk about it all, right? Y'all talk about Alex Preddy and Renee Good and Lorenzo, the other immigrant that had his life taken from him, and the other guy, in Miami or whatever. Don't y'all forget about Keith Porter too. Because Keith Porter was a Black man in Los Angeles who was minding his Black business on New Year's Eve when an off-duty ICE agent took his life, okay? And y'all rarely, barely, if ever, say his name, okay? And if anybody's name should be said, it should be his, because he was a citizen of the United States of America. He did not come over here illegally, but y'all won't say his name. Why? Is he too Black? Does it not get you the clicks and the views and the attention that you get when you talk about illegal immigrants? And as I said, they using illegal immigrants as a political football too. Oh yeah, they still use Black Americans, but right now they put us to the back of the car because right now illegal immigrants is what's getting them attention. But guess what, Democrats? The illegal immigrants can't vote for you. Okay, we can vote for y'all, and y'all starting to see the repercussions of practicing benign neglect of your most loyal group of voters. So yeah, you're gonna have to start talking about your Nolan Wells and all the other people that have mysteriously been unalived or even just harmed on a regular basis by the popo up here in the United States. Yeah, you're gonna have to start speaking about that. And also, don't you forget about our money. We want our reparations too, and we don't want no funky, HR 40 study. We want it all. Brand new socks and drawers, right? We want the money. We want the 40 acres and the mule and everything else that was taken from us. Please and thank you. So anyway,
more racists identified in the Nolan Wells case. Who is Bruce Lynn Jr.? Bruce Lynn Jr. is the first person who got Nolan Wells' body, and he is a coroner. And the apple don't fall too far from the tree. They saying that he comes from a lineage of racism. So he gave the body over to Stacy Turner, which is the medical examiner, in which she doesn't suspect any foul play. So we're going to be reacting to that. Also, we're going to be reacting to another young man who was almost drowned by an adult white man for allegedly trying to look at his stepdaughter.
And he jumped full speed at me, put me in the pool. He was putting me in the pool. I couldn't get up. He was putting me under the pool. He was just pushing me back like this, and then he was pushing me back. Then he was pushing me.
Well, my girlfriend caught him. Look at her sexually. I put my hands on him. Yes, I did. This man, I'm a grown man. He's a little boy. But at the end of the day, he didn't have no right to sit there and keep doing what he was doing.
Okay, let me turn around. I'm gonna.
Yes, ma'am.
Y'all ain't gonna believe this, y'all. It's not just Nolan Wells. They're trying to unalive all of our young black men. Check this out, y'all.
Bruce has been accused of playing the race card in some of his findings, along with this woman. Y'all know who that is? That is Stacey Turner. That is Mississippi's chief medical examiner. She's in the middle, and she's surrounded by black men who are boys, young boys. Actually, all of these young men were unalived by white people, allegedly, right?
Yeah, allegedly.
Top right, that's Trey Reed. Bottom left is Channing Wilson, and bottom right, Damian Cameron. Cases that Stacey handled, some people might say, very badly. Stacey have yet to find a black person who died of a suspicious death, that whereas a white person was suspected of being the person that was culpable and determining that the death was indeed a homicide and not an accident or undetermined.
So in Mississippi, where we know black men get unalived by white men, she has yet to determine an unaliving by a white man throughout her whole career.
Now, for those of you who might be interested in justice, I think it's a good idea to go over to the Jackson County, Mississippi website and check out the local coroner. He couldn't come up with anything. He said that the body didn't appear to have any foul play, and he sent it off to the medical examiner. He sent it off to Stacey just to be sure, just in case you want to contact the coroner.
Y'all contact him and ask him what's up with Nolan Wells' throat. Why do y'all held the throat back? And where the hell information and findings did y'all have with the throat?
You can just call. You can call, light up the phones. Demand justice. What are y'all going to do about this? 228-769-3197. They even got an old fax machine.
I'll screenshot it, call these people up. We got to do our due diligence together, y'all.
And he jumped full speed at me, put me in the pool. He was putting me in the pool. I couldn't get up. He was putting me under the pool. He was just pushing me back like this, and then he was pushing me back. Then he was pushing me.
Well, my girlfriend caught him. Look at her sexually. I put my hands on him. Yes, I did. This man, I'm a grown man. He's a little boy. But at the end of the day, he didn't have no right to sit there and keep doing what he was doing. He was wrong.
On Sunday, July 13th, 2025, officers with the Wildwood Police Department were dispatched to the Cypress Commons apartment complex on Huey Street after multiple callers reported an adult a child inside the community pool. When Officer Massell arrived and made contact with the 13-year-old victim, the story only grew more disturbing.
I don't even a grown man. Okay, can I bring you over here and chat with you for a few minutes about what happened? And what's your name? The daughter that he was playing with. That's the witness. Okay, I'm gonna have Officer Gomez chat with her. Okay, my name's Officer Marslow. You can call me Bristy. I'm just gonna chat with you over here. Got a lot of people out playing today. If you want to chat with her, she was a witness over there.
And I'm gonna tell y'all something else. Do y'all know how many situations is out there where as though you got a white stepdad, or hell, even the biological father, that have a certain relationship, if you know what I'm talking about, with their daughter? Have that on your mind and ask yourself, why in the hell would he be so outraged as to where as though he feels like he has to try and drown him, all because the young lady and the young man are doing whatever they doing?
So, what's going on, man? So the whole time we were in the pool, we were just having fun. So we was playing this little game, all of us. It was me, him, just all the kids. We was playing this little game. So we was playing, we was slapping each other. And you can ask her, it was no offense, it was no harm in it. But I guess I tried to slam her, and then like her dad thought that I was too rough for her, and then her mom had came in and stepped in. So I was playing with her mom a little bit, and then he jumped full speed at me, put me in the pool. He was putting me in the pool. I couldn't get up. He was putting me in.
So the mother came in and played as well. So the mother played and the daughter's playing, but the father, I believe is a stepdad, he comes in with all this damn rage and tried to drown the young man.
In the pool, he grabbed me by like I don't even know what, because I ain't had no shirt, so he just grabbed me my thing. He pulled me to the concrete where he stepped at and was scraping my neck against the concrete saying, tell me something. And then that's when he got behind me. He started choking me and I could not breathe.
Can I see this?
Huh?
Go like this?
Huh?
Go like this? What happened on your elbow?
I got scraped by concrete.
Turn around. Where on your neck?
He was just pushing me back like this, and then he was pushing me back. Then he was me. And I couldn't even breathe the whole time.
Do you know who this person is?
His name Dakota. I don't know this last name though.
Upon arrival, Officer Massell made contact with 13-year-old Caleb, a boy who just minutes earlier had been at the community pool, horseplaying with his friends, when the boyfriend of one of the girl's mothers decided the game had gone too far. According to Caleb, the man had
the boyfriend of the girl. So I was right. It's the stepdad.
Sprinted across the pool deck, fully clothed, jumped into the water, and gotten his hands on him, holding him underwater, him against the concrete pool wall multiple times, and him for nearly a minute in front of a group of screaming kids. As the officer continued questioning the boy, things only grew more bizarre.
Do you know who's his daughter?
She's right there. Well, that's not really his daughter. That's his stepdaughter. But
this girl right here?
Yes.
Stepdaughter.
And he thought that you were her?
Yeah, too hard for her. But you can ask her. She knows the joke.
Where's her dad at?
So she was playing too. These stepfathers out here, you got to watch out for them.
That's not her dad, but I don't know where he is. He won't come outside. My whole family tried to get him to come outside. He won't come outside.
Is there a reason you're sitting on your knees? Let me see your hands. What's going on?
Some kid went underneath the pool and looked at my or whatever you want to say, stepdaughter. Yeah. Because I'm in a relationship with her.
Okay.
And he went underneath the pool and he caught her. Well, my girlfriend caught him in the mid-process of trying to, like,
449.
Look at her and, like, probably potentially touch at her.
I'm looking at.
Who saw that?
The kid in the red shorts.
You know he lying. You know he lied. He said potentially touch at her. What? Touch at her? What do you mean touch at her? The mother even came in and joined the play, so she bet not come out here in front.
His name's Caleb. And that's the only
No,
person.
who saw that? You said somebody.
Everybody. I'm not gonna lie. I ain't got nothing to lie. Everybody did.
Yeah,
All
I
of
was
them.
there too, which is why when
I'm gonna have you go with Gomez.
when I went
Away from us though. So go ahead.
I know how this all goes.
That's awesome. So finish your story. So you were told by your girlfriend that he was attempting to inappropriately touch her.
Yes. And like look at her and all this other stuff.
What does that mean to
He
look
went
at someone?
under the water and he would only do it underneath the water.
Okay.
He won't do it above the water where me and her can see him. And he's done it like throughout the whole day.
Okay.
And I brought it to her attention and she got in the pool and he went into the water again to do the same thing and she caught him. And that's when she's like, hey, I'm here. And like caught him in mid action of it. So what do? I'm supposed to defend them with my heart, with my life. I'm supposed to.
Nah, buddy. Nah.
So when they were.
You trying to introduce your hatred and your rage that you have stored in you for so many years, probably since elementary, when some little black boys probably knocked you upside your damn head.
Being targeted, I stepped in, and I even told him if he wanted to go get his daddy, go get your daddy. You know, at the end of the day, you're wrong for what you're doing. You're sitting here like doing shit and like looking at her like she's a piece.
Well, did he touch her at all, or
Yes.
Did he today?
Yes. I probably won't tell you.
Nah.
It'll probably be and we'll always put in. That's what he said.
And did you observe anything?
Yes, I did. I was over there also. Yes,
And
ma'am.
you observed him touch her
Yes.
inappropriately.
Yes.
What did you observe
He'd
him?
go underneath the water and like pick her up and like her, but you don't need to pick somebody up by like going up behind their thighs and
so like
just like down low.
That's how he was looking at it. That's how he was looking at it. You know why? Because his mind is like that. That's why.
When Officer Massell made contact with the man later identified as 24-year-old Dakota Lee Henry, the encounter got off to a strange start, and within long, the first cracks in his story began to show.
Yeah.
He was grabbing her thighs or her.
There, just like all the way around there.
Well, you're a grown enough person to know what the anatomy on a body is, so use the anatomy. You don't have to. Don't grab me.
Well, all this right here.
So the upper thigh.
Because he lying.
But not the or the.
I can't say.
But you
I
didn't.
I wasn't under the water to see it.
So you didn't see him touch her.
I couldn't say.
Her private areas.
I couldn't say. Again, I can't.
So you didn't see? Oh.
But you can say
Lock
if you
him
saw
up.
it or not.
But if above the water, I can. But underneath the water, I can't.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you again. Did you observe him touch her inappropriately on any of her private parts? Did you observe it with your eyes?
Maybe
Maybe
one
one
time
time today?
He grabbed her above her.
Above her ass or her ass?
Above her. It's
Okay,
still
so
close enough.
here we go. Let's focus.
So should it be touching another?
No,
like that?
He
look,
lying.
I'm not trying to judge. I'm trying to get on the same page as
I already
you.
know what your job
So
is. It's
you
to get my story and to get their story.
So you understand above the
lying.
It's not. I know.
Is the lower back. That's what is a private area? Can you tell me?
The private area would be.
Don't. Okay. Okay. What else on a woman is a private area? Did you observe him touch any of those areas?
Would you count the lower back?
That is
right
not.
above her?
So that's not any of the areas you just.
She just, you got to take this dude to elementary school because he's lying. That cop ain't got enough crayons to assist him in what the hell a private area is. And then she asked him, did he touch those areas?
Describe to me as anatomy.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now let's continue on. All that occurred today, and then tell me the rest. What else went down?
I left. I turned around and left. I got tired of seeing. It's funny how all those kids won't go over there and do the same thing that he was doing. Only him.
So nothing else occurred between you and this. You didn't speak with him or anything like that, or go or get in the water.
Yeah, I did. Yes, I did. I put my hands on him. Yes, I did. Yes, man. I'm a grown-ass man. He's a little boy. Yes, but at the end of the day, he didn't have no right to sit there and keep doing what he was doing. He was wrong, and he knows he was wrong.
Okay.
And yes, I will put my hands behind my back. I already know I'm under arrest.
I'm still talking to you.
Nah, don't try to rush the process. Don't try to rush the process.
First rodeo, that I am going to jail, and that is fine. That is perfectly fine. The only thing I request is that the truth, so that way I can go ahead and fulfill my head with what is to come when I get there.
Okay.
Nah.
Great. So, did you run from us? Did you?
No, I did not run.
Okay.
I ran to the house after the incident, and I came here and I sat here and waited for you guys.
You ran, didn't you?
I have a truck and everything. I could have jumped in my truck and left and go all the way to Orlando, but I didn't.
Okay.
And I'm not going to. Again, I'm not going to run from what I did.
I'm going to read this just because I have to. So you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. With that in mind, are you wanting to answer any questions that I have?
No, ma'am.
You don't want to?
Anything that I say will be used against me, like you just said, in a court of law. So I expect that I say nothing.
Okay, I'm going to have you turn around. I'm going to.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you want to just, let's have you come sit right here with Officer Lyons while he runs you.
You only did that because it was a kid. That's why you did that. If it was an adult, you wouldn't have did that. I'm happy they locked his ass up.
Out loud. He clearly thought he had already told his story well
That's
enough
the
to
mother,
walk
y'all.
away
That's
from
the
it. But his
mother.
own girlfriend, the mother of the girl he was claiming to have defended, was about to give her own statement to officers, and her version of the afternoon didn't have a lot in common with his.
So what we got?
So basically what she's telling me is the same thing the daughter said. Her friend was playing with her, grabbed her by the legs, and was of course playing around. She didn't like that because of her daughter's situation in the past for getting by another boy who was like a friend like that as well. And so she kind of just jumped in the pool and was like, hey, like, what's, like, what are you doing?
Kind of. So, and then he didn't get to her. He got to me first. To where when he came up, he was like, oh, and I was just like, hey, how's it going? I'm not Avril. Like, you wanna?
That's your daughter's name?
Yes, Avril. Yes. And so and then Caleb literally instead went down and he picked me up by the legs to. I don't know if he just thought it was a joke or he just thought I was part of the horseplay. But the moment he saw me was when he jumped in.
Okay. So at any point did he touch her?
Okay, so the little boy slammed her because she presented herself as she was a part of the horseplay. But in front of the cop, she trying to explain to it like she was checking the little boy. But I'm sure that's not what happened, y'all. She was presenting herself like she was down with it until that ninja, the boyfriend, came over and said, no, enough is enough. You get your hands off of them because that's mine.
Appropriately on her.
I didn't see any, and half of it literally between them all horse playing around.
There you go. She didn't see it.
But it's not like you can see what goes on.
No, and I understand that, but it's a question I have to ask. If you observed any type of inappropriate touching
I think
on your daughter's
clothes or too touchy-feely, yes, but according to them, that they're just playing around. And
at any point, did you see him touch any of your daughter's
areas?
Private areas?
No.
She want to lie so bad. She want to lie so bad.
All right. Just hang tight with her. What did Avril say?
It's the same thing that her friend and her were just playing around, and it was nothing serious.
Avril playing around, Avril having a good time, bro. It's y'all with y'all polluted minds, man. I'm happy they locked him up because with his mindset, he need to be out of that house. He don't need to be in the house with little Avril and them. You know what I'm saying? Because his mind is polluted. But y'all get in the comment section. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that coroner having Nolan Wells' body and him giving the body to Stacey Turner and them withholding the throat. And then let me know, do y'all think that stepfather had a little wicked eye towards little Avril? Y'all get in the comment section. Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Big Kesh signing out. Gone, y'all.
My cousin, Jordan Turner, who was 19 and was murdered by another Black kid that also went away with his friends and never returned home. Guess who showed up? Attorney Benjamin Crump. I know you're looking confused. See, this is why it's important that you
was that related to Black people? Was Black people involved in his death?
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, that's
and they
one.
were convicted. And they were convicted.
And we didn't hear about it plastered all over the media. That's a big difference.
This is why you don't know. This is why you should speak of what you.
Revolutionary salute to our brother Infused Influences for the 200 jewels to the war chest. Revolution is a way of life. Absolutely appreciate the love, soldier. Salute.
You know, and not what you heard. So again.
One of the things I find most frustrating in American politics is watching people ignore the facts simply because they want to defend a political movement. And in my opinion, Brandon Tatum has become one of the biggest examples of that. Time and time again, he comes out to defend MAGA talking points and Donald Trump, even when the evidence points in a completely different direction. But every now and then, someone comes along who's willing to push back. And that's exactly what Teslin Figaro does in this debate. In this clip, she goes head-to-head with Brandon Tatum over the death of Nolan Wells, and instead of letting him control the narrative, she challenges him with facts and forces him to answer some very uncomfortable questions. Now, if you're new here, I'm Bradley Hostin, and this is The Bradley Hostin Show. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more news commentaries. I need you guys to stick around until the very end because after we watch this clip, I want to explain why I think this debate highlights a much bigger problem with today's political discourse and why more people need to be willing to challenge narratives instead of simply repeating them. As usual, let's watch the clip, and then I'll give you guys my thoughts afterwards.
Now is Revolt News chief political correspondent Teslin Figaro and former police officer and host of the Officer Tatum show, Brandon Tatum. Great to see both of you. Thanks for being here. So, Brandon, let's start with you. Just from a law enforcement perspective, what do you make of the timeline, the lack of answers, what maybe occurred here?
Well, I think the first thing is that these activists came in and brought in information or lies about circumstances to make people question. The law enforcement officers have already done an autopsy. They've already investigated. There's no sign of foul play. And one thing that's very interesting that I just found out recently is that it wasn't a situation where you have Nolan Wells and 4 of the kids at an island. There's thousands of people there. There's hundreds of different boats. So him staying behind while some of his other friends went back to the mainland wasn't that suspicious. I really wish that the family would focus on Nolan Wells' life, focus on the investigation, and let the police do their job instead of interjecting race into the situation. And it's completely unnecessary to be there at this point.
So, Teslin, you've worked with Ben Crump. You have valuable insight into how he operates. You're not speaking for him tonight, but what do you think about the timeline and whether it determines?
Revolutionary salute to our Queen Yaya's kids for gifting 5 cult figure memberships to the audience. Revolution is well life. Absolutely appreciate that love, Queen. Y'all try to keep your memberships to help me keep the lights on. Here at the House of Revolution. Salute.
Whether Nolan was still alive before the boat left the island, like his friends insist.
Yeah, thank you, Katie. I'm speaking as a mom, of a 19-year-old. In the same way Officer Tatum wishes that people would not insert lies, I wish Officer Tatum would allow the investigation, the independent investigation, to run its course. You don't know, Mr. Tatum, what has been talked about in this investigation. It has not been complete, and people have not came forward to say what happened with Nolan Wells. So I actually do believe his parents when they said that they taught their son to leave with whoever you came with. So for you to make the accusations that is a lie when they're burying their son on Monday is, quite frankly, to be disgusting, Officer Tatum.
Well,
and I'm ashamed.
You know what's funny? I hope that you're paying attention to this, because there's a lot of information that have come out, and I've gotten firsthand knowledge about some things that have happened on that island, and people are going to be ashamed of themselves for sitting here lying and pushing racism in this circumstance.
Well,
I don't know what happened, but I do know. I'll let you finish. I'll let you speak. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm just saying I got firsthand knowledge too. But as we're talking about right now, talking about right now, you made the accusation that there were lies, that that race has been interjected. Like I said last week, if people don't want people to speculate, then investigate. So this
that's true. Brandon, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that topic, because Ben Crump is notorious and has been criticized by people who have used him in the past for their cases of being an ambulance chaser, pushing a narrative that fits the racial lens that he wants it to. You've talked about this on your podcast and how.
Salute to Big Bird for the 550 jewels to the war chest. Revolution is well life. I absolutely appreciate that love. Salute, family.
You believe young black men are unfortunately killed every single day, and people like Ben Crump and Al Sharpton just highlight certain stories that benefit them rather than the families.
Well, let's keep it real. This is all about money. Benjamin Crump would never show up to a kid's funeral or say anything about a kid that's killed by another black kid. But if there's an opportunity to interject racism into a situation where there's no evidence of racism, Benjamin Crump will be there to do it. What is his end goal? He's not a criminal. He's not a criminal attorney. So he's not going to help the family get justice on a criminal level. He's a civil rights attorney. You don't need a civil rights attorney in a case where you're wondering if the investigation is going right for your son, unless you believe this has something to do with racism.
Let him finish, and then I'll let you talk. Okay, let him finish his point, and then I'll let you respond.
He's going on a diatribe. So let's
no, he's not. He's speaking, and I'll let you respond as soon as he's done making his point.
Katie, I'll let the young lady go. Go ahead. I would love to hear what you got to say to that.
Go right ahead.
Thank you, Officer Tate. Thank you. Well, let's just once again, speaking about things that you don't know about. Katie, you set it up with talking about Ben Crump being notorious for race baiting. I could name a couple of things that Officer Tatum here is also notorious for. So let's be careful on how we
don't need these personal attacks.
I'm gonna finish my statement. I'm gonna finish my statement. And let me also correct you on something else, Mr. Tatum, when you said Ben Crump would never show up for a black kid that was murdered by a black kid. My cousin, Jordan Turner, who was 19 and was murdered by another black kid that also went away with his friends and never returned home, guess who showed up? Attorney Benjamin Crump. I know you're looking confused. See, this is why it's important that you
was that related to black people? There was black people involved in his death?
Yep. Absolutely.
Okay, that's
and they were convicted. And they were convicted.
And we didn't hear about it plastered all over the media. That's a big difference.
This is why you don't know. This is why you should speak of what you know and not what you heard. So again, when it comes down to Nolan Wells, I ask that we use this time to ask people to come forward and speak about what they know. The young man did not come home, Brandon. He didn't come home. So let's use this time, instead of focusing on what people are saying in the comments, let's continue to stay in
Brandon. I mean, Ben Crump is the one making this conversation in the media. Ben Crump is the one making this conversation in the media. He's the one pushing this out there so people do speculate ahead of the investigation, not letting it play out. But Brandon, I want to ask you this question. Teslin, 1 second. Brandon, there's been a lot of accusation and pushing that Nolan Wells' white friends have not been questioned enough as if they were somehow responsible for his death based on race. That seems like a highly irresponsible narrative to be pushing, especially when we don't know all of the facts yet.
100%. It is a flat out lie. The police department isn't doing their investigation. They're doing it fair and properly. Benjamin Crump cannot come out right now and say that the investigation isn't going like it should. They're interjecting race into something that has nothing to do with race. These boys were friends. The coach came out, who happened to be a black man, that said he don't believe race is a factor. These boys grew up together. These boys go to school together. This is a tragic situation, and they should leave it at what it is, and that's a tragedy. Let the investigation unfold. Benjamin Crump they're already out saying this has something to do with race because the boy was with white guys. That is asinine.
Just like you describe it like you describe it when you talk about black on black crime constantly. So what a black man, a young black boy went with his white friends and didn't come back. So why are you not asking the white children to speak up? Nobody saw nothing, Brandon.
They are speaking. They are speaking.
All right, we got to do anything.
We got to run. We hope that the family can get some answers because a young man is dead and we want his family to have closure. Teslin Figaro and Brandon Tatum, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We appreciate it.
So let me give you guys my thoughts because there were a few things that really stood out to me in that debate. First of all, did you notice the way Katie Pavlich framed her comments about Ben Crump? To me, it didn't feel accidental. It felt like she was trying to undermine his credibility before anyone had even discussed the facts of the case. Whether you agree with Ben Crump or not, that's a tactic we see in politics all the time. Discredit the person first, then people stop listening to the argument. The second thing I want to talk about is Brandon Tatum. If you've watched this channel for any length of time, you'll know I've been critical of him before because I believe he repeatedly defends positions that align with the MAGA movement, even when I think the evidence points in a different direction. In this debate, what really stood out wasn't just what he said, it was what happened after Teslin Figaro challenged him. She responded with a real example from her own family's experience, and instead of engaging with it, his response was essentially, well, that's only one example. But that's exactly the point. It was an example he didn't know about, and if there are examples that he isn't aware of, then perhaps the issue deserves more investigation rather than immediate dismissal. That's why I think Teslin got the better of this exchange. The bigger issue, in my opinion, is that conversations about race in America are often treated as if they're already settled. They're not. America has a long history of racial discrimination, and discussions about whether bias played a role in a particular case shouldn't be dismissed out of hand. Every case deserves to be examined on its own facts. And that's another thing I found frustrating. If the family of Nolan Wells has questions and wants a fuller investigation, why shouldn't they be allowed to pursue those answers? No commentator on television, not Brandon Tatum, not Katie Pavlich, and not anyone else gets to decide how a grieving family should process their loss or what questions they're allowed to ask. At the end of the day, seeking answers isn't the same as assigning guilt. It's about making sure the truth comes out. That's something everyone should support. But those are just my thoughts. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Do you think Teslin Figaro won this debate? Or do you think Brandon Tatum made the stronger case? And if you're still watching, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more news commentaries. I appreciate every single
Make sure you click the subscribe button and all that happy stuff that's going on. Give me a quick. The premises enclave always have been, the governor. They found pictures of him in blackface and all this stuff. So like, what do you really expect out of Mississippi? I mean, you talk to the brothers and sisters in Mississippi, they'll tell you how really them folks have ruined that state. They ruined it. Mississippi, it's not because the F.BA is in Mississippi. It's because these white folk. They run it. They got it the way it is with the racism. And the more, and let me tell them something this before I get into, we're going to get into the rest of this. The more racist you are, the more, uneducated and poor you are. And y'all don't even understand that and see that. You don't even get it. Trust me. I've talked to so many brothers and sisters from Mississippi that's moved over here to Houston. And they say they came over here for opportunity because them folks over there just got it just down bad over there. Like, so once again, it's not because of our people, it's because of them. And all they have is racism. That's all they have. Like I say, it is sick. It is demented. That's why I said that is a culture, and it's definitely spiritual. And then when you say spiritual, we're not talking about the living God. We're talking about Satan. That kind of, because Satan is a spirit too. We talk about spirit and God and angels and all. No. Satan is a spirit. The demons are spirits too. And that culture, based off of what it shows, is in league with the spirit of the demon, not the spirit of the Lord. That's not me just making stuff up. I'm going off of factual history of hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. Every time you look up, it's something happening to a black person. Black people don't do these things to themselves. We know our people. We know what they're capable of. Even when they have mental health issues, we still know what our people are capable of. And they're not capable of the things that's going on. But at the same time, our people got to be smart. We got to be smart. You want to be brand new. You think you know more. You think you're better. And then they just had a case I just heard about of another young black man right now fighting for his life. Went to this festival. It's right 90% of them. And they got into it with him and literally tried to sever his head. And the brother is fighting for his life right now. When are y'all going to learn, black people? When are you going to learn? You cannot go hang out with them people like that. Your one friend may be the best one in the world, may be the best. But unfortunately, your one good friend is always going to be outnumbered by their culture, because your one good friend is an anomaly in a collective. And I'm only telling you this as a man that have grown up in the South, as a man who have took at least 14 years of his life doing this, studying this, reading this, writing books on this. I know when they openly racist. I know when they being low-key racist. I know when they doing a hybrid version of it. I know that I see and hear it coming. And it amazes me that our people do not see this. And it's also sad when we as parents don't teach our kids either. Prime example. And this just something I'm saying about teaching our kids. So, I got to be in a just a short amount of time, a class today. And it was about, with the kids teaching about voting and everything, the sister was saying about voting, and even the way the government works in itself was spot on, 100% accurate, 100%. I can't say nothing she said was wrong. And at the time I was kind of like, I'm sitting on my hands and I'm just kind of twirling. She say, "Why is that?" I say, I do this for a living, so it's kind of like my wheelhouse. And it's just one element of that voting that I would say. And so I got into teaching the kids about, about voting right, how we got voting rights, how we fought for it, how we died for it, X, Y, Z. But then I got into the conversation of voting is a transactional. I got into that conversation. The kids understood that very well. These kids is around 12 years old, 11, 12. They understood transactional voting. So what that told me just when I explained them what transactional voting is, that you don't go vote for nothing. You get something out that when you get up and go vote. And if nobody's going to do anything for you, then you do not vote for nobody. And I explained to them about local elections. I explained to them about how that's more important for us as Black people, like our mayor, our city council, our judge, or whatever. I explained to them about how people get locked up, and sometimes you got a bad judge, and you can go vote that judge out and put a good judge in there that's from our community. Or we got potholes in the street, or how that stuff is fixed versus,
Salute to our brother once again. Infused influences for the two Jews to the war chest. Revolution is a way of life. I definitely appreciate the love, soldiers.
I was talking to them about how Black people want to get so caught up on a presidential election. The president don't fix potholes. The president don't put your local judges in office, your local DA, your sheriffs, all those people. The president has nothing to do with that. So just even at the short moment I was talking to our kids are very smart. I just want to put that out there before we continue. And they understand. And they will understand the grassroots messaging because they get it. They get it very well. So teach your kids the grassroots messaging, please. They are very smart kids. Very, very smart. Now, and I thought about that. I say, maybe I need to start doing a little bit more of that, because I had an opportunity to, and because our kids are smart, but I want the older kids. I want the ones that's actually going to talk back, the ones that got little things to say, because I understand where these little young people coming from. Because you know what? A lot of people have failed our kids. A lot of people have failed them. And so, they got a lot of things to say. And you got to meet them where they at with our kids. You know what I'm saying? But that's neither here nor there. Definitely, if you have an opportunity to talk to our kids with grassroots messaging, talk to our kids. They are very, very smart. All right. So we're gonna definitely get into this real quick. Let's go ahead and run this. And we'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get into Nolan Wells and everything that's going along with that. If I could actually move my mouse today. Mouse is acting up.
In H-Town, we want news that speaks truth, just like we do.
ADNC.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. And once again, thank you for being supportive of the African Diaspora News Channel app. Greatly appreciate that. And like I said, we are, getting very close to releasing the anticipated update to our definitely the app. And while we're definitely also focusing on original programming, like I say, LaSherica is being worked on. Slay Queen will be coming back, definitely on the African Diaspora News Channel app. And any of the other ideas that I'm having about bringing original programming outside of just news and different things like that, certain documentaries that I wanted to work on. And I was getting some quotes on some of that, how that could be done. And that's definitely going to go directly to the ADNC app. So definitely you are when you join, you are supporting. And remember, we are doing the wealth transfer. Let's transfer the wealth out of them folks' hands into our hands. So $9.99 a month, definitely a good place to bring the wealth transfer so we can bring more programming and things for you. Remember, Black owned, Black centered, Black targeted, Black blickety, Black all over the world. That's what we do. All right. So let's start off on, I didn't have time to do my thing with it, but I say, let me find one on this platform. And we will kind of look at a section I want to look at here with Mr. Benjamin Crump talking about some of the findings. And then I got another video of a brother who also has been doing a lot of autopsies, and he's going to kind of talk about some of this as well. And like I said, none of this stuff surprised me, what's going on or whatever, like especially, when you hear Mississippi, and once again, Mississippi is what it is, not because of F.BAs, it's what it is because of them folks. I always going to tell y'all that. And who runs that state? Republicans. But, I don't really get caught in Democrat and Republican, but I'm just making sure to put that out there because they always want to say, the white liberal. No, the white conservative too. Yeah, y'all have ruined that state. You ruined it. You've been ruining it. And these people, you talk about IQ, they don't have a quote unquote high IQ. If the state is in hell, the state's in shambles, and you keep Republicans in there, if I was a white person, I wouldn't put a Republican in there because you ruin everything. I mean, if the state looks like trash, and clearly you need to switch it up, right? But, the definition of insanity. So let's go ahead and cue this up real quick, and we're going to stop and talk about some things. All right, here we go.
So Dr. Roger Mitchell, board certified forensic pathologist, performed a preliminary report on the death of Nolan Xavier Wells. He conducted and presented this report on July 19, 2026. Preliminary report, second autopsy, death of Nolan Xavier Wells. Cause of death, undetermined, pending investigation. And we'll explain that as we go through the report this morning. The manner of death, undetermined, pending investigation. Statement of examination. This forensic pathologist was retained to perform a second autopsy examination on the body of Nolan Xavier Wells. Name of decedent, Nolan Xavier Wells, age 18 years old, race, black, gender, male, date of death, unknown. Second autopsy date was performed on July 10th, 2026. Preliminary findings, and this is significant. Focal area of red discoloration in the soft tissue of the back of the head, the occipital region. He said the etiology is unknown at this time. He said the body was received after the initial autopsy. He said the body had marked decompensation. He said corona incision of the scalp, brain removal, Y-shaped incision of the anterior torso, and he talked about the organs being removed as is common, accompanied in the body cavity. And that when you have an autopsy, the organs are removed from the body and they are dissected and examined. And then they are put back in a bag within inside the body. So when they're buried, their remains will all be with them. But in this occasion, if there's going to be a second autopsy, then the organs are put in the body cavity. So the second pathologist could be able to examine the organs as well.
All right, let's stop right there. Okay. All right, let's stop right there. So these jokers in Mississippi, they didn't put the organs back in. So the second autopsy people can go ahead on and do their investigation and examination. Well, Mississippi, that looks real fishy. I know you didn't conveniently forget that. You purposely did that, which makes y'all more guilty in the eyes of the public, because if it was an accident, like or whatever the case may be, then you're like, hey, yeah, no problem. Let's get a second pair of eyes on this, and they can go ahead and confirm what we say, right? And they still haven't came out and said anything yet. I want y'all to notice that. Let me tell you something. When I see white folk too quiet, you plotting something. I know you. I've been knowing you for too long, especially in the South. You're plotting. You're trying to get your lie right. You're trying to make sure the lie's straight. Think about what happened. Nolan Wells, they say in the beginning, oh, well, he wanted to stay on the island, and so he was with a girl. And so, we left him over there. Hey, he wanted to stay with her, but y'all had his phone, which everybody and their mama know. Even grown adults don't leave their phone. And for sure, an 18-year-old young man not going to leave his phone nowhere. So he's with this mysterious girl. Then they talk to the girl and say, he wasn't with me. Then when you get back, you talk to your mammy, who's a judge, and all of a sudden y'all start deactivating Facebook accounts. If you didn't do anything, you would be helpful. They didn't go to law enforcement and say, hey, let me tell you what happened. Yeah. I don't know what happened to my friend, man. Here's his phone. He was cool. Like what do you need from me? I'm willing to help. You go quiet. Only the guilty go quiet with law enforcement. If you had nothing to do with anything and if somebody's my friend and something truly happened to them, I will be at the police station and say, hey, look, he what's going on? What you need from me? I want to help y'all. You need me to go out there with you? What do you need me to do? Because I want to find out what happened to my friend. For surely I'm not going to start deactivating all my social media. What did he deactivate it for? I didn't do anything. Then your mama as a judge explaining. I mean, let's just think about all these little events that's happening with these people. Y'all being sloppy. Y'all over there in Mississippi. You're being so sloppy. Then they do a second autopsy, and we'll continue with Benjamin Crump is saying. You're supposed to put the organs back in the body, but you didn't. You send the body with no organs. What are you covering up? What are you covering up? Or if they even get the organs back? Why you think the people screamed when he said the organs wasn't in the body? You know why? How many black people, especially young black men, have lost their lives? You know, this is the same state. You remember Kendrick Johnson that was found rolled up in a mat over there? And when they got him, he had no organs. They said he had newspapers in his body instead of the organs. You know how many stories we have covered over at least over a decade of young black men being found without their organs? Organ harvesting, organ trafficking is a real thing. And they want black organs. Because these people, they tell you you're not superior, but yeah, they feel you. If your organs are superior, that means you're superior, right? Yeah, we don't think like that. Trust me, the people didn't scream like that for no reason. They know. We know as black people. We know. Let's go ahead and pick back up. Let's continue.
Very significant for Dr. Mitchell was that the anterior inner neck structures were absent, not received with the body. And we'll explain that in just a minute. And then it talks about the additional procedures performed during the second autopsy. And we'll go into the paragraphs on that there because he explains it there in his narrative. So where's the first page?
Now, let me stop right there. Now, let me get back on camera because there's another video I want y'all to hear. Now, he's saying that the neck area was missing. Now, there's another brother that heard all this, and I want you to hear what this brother has to say real quick before we get back into it. See, the more and more you go along, the more and more Mississippi, you just exposing yourself. See, the one thing I love about the internet is that all the receipts are so long. And you say one thing. See, the mainstream media can't cover for you white supremacists no more. They can't. Because anything you say is captured in real time. See, gone are the days of the 80s and 90s where the mainstream media, they were the narrative. Early 2000s, a little bit, they were still the narrative. Now we catch you in real time. Now you can be recorded in real time. You know, everybody talking about the meta glasses and things like that, right? You always can be recorded. And shoot, I'll tell black people, get you some meta glasses. Sometimes that may save you. Record. You have a right to record in America. Let's play what this other brother has to say that knows more about this. Let's go.
I've done hundreds of autopsies on infants, toddlers, young teens, young adults, senior citizens, obese, morbidly obese, different ethnicities, suicides, murders, accidents, natural causes. I've done them all. So when you tell me there was an absence of the interior structure of the neck, My question is why and where is it? Was it recovered with the remains, or were the remains like this when you retrieve the remains? What part of his neck is missing? Has the soft tissue been preserved, or did the water damage or anything else disrupt what could possibly be used as information to find out the cause of death? If his neck is missing, then what caused his injury? The structural integrity of the neck, unless it was decapitated or dealt severe trauma, should be intact. So where's the portion of his neck? The interior, the inside of his neck is missing. Why? What can cause that type of damage to the neck and then the trauma to the back of the head? Did they strike him in the back of the head and stab him? Or did they shoot him in the neck? Right? And he falls back and he hits his head. In which case, in my humblest opinion, he was murdered. And the individuals who was with him should no longer be walking the earth. There is no justice, only just us. And in this situation, it's perfectly okay to embrace your Satans and enact revenge on the participants. They don't know nothing. Don't worry about it. You will not need to know anything else after I'm done with you. The only thing your people need to know is how to summon and or evoke you on your birthday and holidays. To include the parents. The boy was murdered. I've done more than enough autopsies to know the structural integrity of a human body. And very rare will there be an incident outside of blatant murder where a person takes a knife and attacks your neck to where the structural integrity of one's neck, even with a broken neck, the structural integrity of your neck is intact unless your head was ripped off or damn near ripped off.
Sorry about that, y'all. They have a whole system. What I was saying is when it comes to cover up, they have a whole system set up to cover up. They have police and sheriffs and all them to help cover things up. DAs help them cover things up. Medical examiners help them cover things up. They have judges. They help them cover things up, right? They have people on city council. They help them. They have a wicked ecosystem to help them cover up sin and unrighteousness that's been done to Black people. It's not just one person being a quote unquote racist. It is, when we say the system of white supremacy, it's a system. A system is more than one person operating in tandem to make sure they can complete the goal of white supremacy. And part of white supremacy is you got to try to catch you a Black body. But unfortunately, some of our people make it too easy for them. My thing is, you may not be, they make it hard for them if they're going to get you. Keep yourself around Black people. Stay around the right kind of Black people. Don't say that much, because not every Black person you need to be around either. Don't be around those people. If you got your white friend and say, you know what, you come around Black people. You want to cool white people, you come around us, because at least we know you'll get home. Nobody didn't. No, but listen, if any person of any community they have hung around Black people, we take care of you. You're not gonna go nowhere with us. It don't matter if it's a club, wherever you at, and we even leave you. We're not gonna even leave you. Like, nah, we come together, we leave together. Somebody messing with you, we all get down. If you part of the circle, you're part of the circle. You don't have white people who hang out with all Black people talking about, yeah, I don't know, he did that to himself. I don't know what happened with him. You're safer hanging around Black people. And guess what? White people know that. White people haven't admitted that they feel safer around Black people than their own. Many of them have admitted this. That's my suggestion to Black people. If you have a white friend, they need to go hang out with the Black people. You need to go to the Black spots, the Black restaurants. You come into the Black world. We're not going in your world. because going into your world is unsafe for us as black people, because we don't know who's the Klansman in your world, because they smile in our face, they be quote unquote nice, and unfortunately our people haven't learned that tactic yet. That is a deception tactic of being nice and smiling. Let me tell you something. We talking about the devil himself. When the devil wants to convince you of doing anything, he's not gonna come at you like a snarling, loud demon. He's not gonna come at you like that. The Bible even teaches that the devil will masquerade himself as an angel of light. Why? Because it's easier to get you as an angel of light than some big snarling demon. You will see the snarling demon coming. You're like, oh, okay, well, shoot, I know to stay away from that. No. They're going to tell you a bunch of sweet nothings, make you think they're nice. And with the whole time, they underneath that cover is a whole demon. And black people got to understand that. Oh, they just so nice. Yes, ask every people group in history has been colonized. They didn't come in there guns blazing. They always came in there nice. Hey, we want to share the news of Jesus. Hey, we just want to visit and love on you guys and all of that. And then you look up, now you're enslaved. Now you're colonized. That's the way they did it. I'll never forget the story in Ethiopia when I went to the museum in Ethiopia, the one I went to in Tigray, King Yohannes Castle, actually. And it showed how they tried to come in Ethiopia and how they came. They even had the pictures of it. They came and they was on their knee kneeling before King Yohannes and all of that. Some of they were missionaries and they wanted to bring the news of Jesus. And he was like, we've been having the Bible here. We don't need you here for that. Nah, we cool. Y'all can go ahead and go down the road. And that was one of the smartest moves Ethiopia made. At that time, Abyssinia made. Now let them come in there talking about, yeah, they're missionaries. They're going to just be, listen, the only way they can get you is being nice. They're not going to come at you just, they come at you like that. Black people, you better learn. And if you're not good at learning, then you just need to stay within our community. And yes, we got our issues and problems, but hey, you know what? You're not going to go to no island with black people and talking about, I don't know what happened to him. He was with, Keisha over there and his phone over here. Like, no, that's just not going to happen to you with us. You're not going to be mysteriously drowning nowhere with us. We're not going to let that happen. You're safer with us. But see, some of you are so silly that you'll sit up there and listen to these folks talking about how horrible our community is, all the blacks. And if you repeat any of that, I just look at you as an imbecile. I don't even look at them as anything. I look at you as the fool. You can't tell me nothing about my people. Not a freaking thing. I know the good of them. I know the bad. And I know the in-between. And I know you have no right, not even on our worst day, to speak on black people. Because I am safer in a crowd of black people than ever I'll be in a crowd of you. That's what it is. Even our street dudes, a lot of them even got levels in a code to things. Most street dudes, if you're really not in their business like that, they're not really messing with you. For the most part, they're really not. Now you got some renegades out here that just on some BS. So they used to get what's coming to them when they like that. But most street dudes, if you're not involved with them and not in their business or just popping up in their territory and they don't know who you are or whatever. So they're not going to pull up on you because they don't know you're op or whatever. Do you ever hear our quote unquote street dudes going to schools and airing it out? No. Oh, they're on welfare. And they not hurting nobody. The black people that's on welfare. All of a sudden I seen that the lights went down and went back up. And that tells me something. Yeah, that tells me something. I need to order me a new surge protector. I've been having this for some years, so it's not working like it once did, like my battery backup. So yeah, I need to go ahead and order one. I'm gonna order that probably as soon as we get done. Yeah, I got a message from Centerpoint about 4 minutes ago about a brief interruption in lecture service. But they had a lot of lightning pretty bad out here. Really bad. So I'll say, ooh, can I do my stream tonight? So yeah. But anyway, like I was saying, because I'm gonna try to wrap up with y'all, because I gotta stay on task. But you're safer with your own community. These people sit up here and tell you that y'all want to move to our neighborhoods. You want to move to, it's nothing about you that Black people are trying to move around. The fact is, you siphon all the resources to a particular community. That's what it is. It's resources. If the Black people have the same resources as those so-called places, they wouldn't go nowhere. They'll stay right there in their own communities. It's a resource thing. And it's their tax dollars. Hell, if your tax dollars is going to one particular area, why can't your tax dollars go to that area? You're paying, right? Oh, you guys want to move where we move at? No, trust me. No. I don't know no Black person. I ain't met a Black person and say, you know what? When I make it, I'm gonna move by. I just want to live by white people. I've never heard of Black people say that. They say they want to live in a decent environment, but I always say what you define as decent environment and at what cost sometimes. And we need to fix our own communities. Our own communities can look the same way. We got to hold each other accountable. We got to go to war against anything that's anti us. Because it's one thing to talk about outside influences, but we got to take care of the community within. But we are safer with our people. Like back in the time of segregation, what would they do? They're being safer with Black people. Well, look, we got everything we need. I just don't know too many Black people that's saying, you know what, I'm going over there with Connor and them. I want to go to their club. Now you got some Black people that's on that. Now even the anime communities, gaming communities, Black people try to be a part of, you got Black gamers, Black anime people, there's people in things like that who are Black. And Black people had to have their own conventions like DreamCon, and I heard another one called BlurredCon and things like that. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because they were being racist even in those communities. You know what I'm saying? Like everything they touch, they bring racism to it because it's a culture. That's why Black people have to create their own events. Create our own everything. It's not that Black people want to be quote unquote segregate. No, we have to do that for safety purposes and community purposes. We don't need to be worrying about, oh, this person's racist. Oh, this person's going to do this. He looking at me funny. She's doing this. No, we don't want to deal with any of that. And I recently seen a video and shout out to the guy. I think he's the brother. It was a white woman I saw that she was drunk and she wanted him to come in her house. He said, "Nah, I'm not going in your house. I'm just making sure," because she had got put out of an Uber or whatever, and he just made sure she got home. And she wanted him to come in her house and do something with her. He's like, "Nah, I'm cool. You're at your door." He recorded the whole thing though. That woman the next day went to the police and tried to say that he assaulted her. And then when they approached him about it, because I already knew this would probably happen. And then he had a video say, "Nope, this is everything right here. I didn't go in her house. I ain't touch her." And they had to leave it alone. But the woman, what they were saying, ended up getting sentenced to jail for that falsification she was trying to do. You hear stories like that as a Black man, you're like, yeah, I don't care what you got going on. You hey, the most I do for you is call 911 for you and say, hey, they got this woman out here. Y'all need to come help her because I'm a Black man. I ain't. Nope. At least, if you help out a Black woman. And notice they got drunk Black women that do different, whatever. And you never hear brothers getting caught up on a bunch of stuff. If he helps out a drunk Black woman, make sure she good. But every time, so many stories, they lie on a Black man. That's what I say. You brothers, you better watch yourself. Watch yourself. You say don't eat their food. Oh no, I'm with y'all on that. Don't eat their food. Cook your own. You say online gaming is white supremacy heaven, but you know what? Black people have created their own. Black people love the game too. It's not even about. It's not the online gaming is not the problem. It's the culture is the problem. I just saw a white lady today talking about the horseback riding community, how black people have went to different schools, and they asked her, do they accept, black people because they went to other schools and noticed they were treating a white ride a certain way. Like, so it's not horseback riding. It's not gaming. It's not anime. No. It's their culture. If everywhere you go, you bring that with you, that's a culture. It's not the event or the subgroup. No. It's your culture. And that's the one thing I'm trying to teach black people. It's the culture. It's not an ism. It's a culture. And that culture is something that's been taught from hundreds and hundreds of years ago. It is a culture. I always want y'all to remember that. It is a culture. There's a minority who don't follow the culture, and they're cool people. And like I say about all groups of people, if you rock with us, we'll rock with you as individuals. Not collective groups, individuals.
Cool. Follow me.